For the stream, keep the good chat for
and
the
we're
stream.
live. Cool.
There it is.
You ruined it, Sam.
Hello, everyone.
Oh shit, we're live.
I can see you all now. Great. Hello to those watching. This is Eaters of the Earth, the insane science fantasy world of Doom and Gloom, where everything is about to go wrong. I want to get cracking because we didn't get as much done as I wanted to last time. Couple of announcements. First, as always, Eaters of the Earth is based upon the video game Caves of Cud. Thank you to Freehold Games for letting us use their amazing setting. Quick note about uploading old episodes. I've had some network problems recently. Should be fine for this stream. I haven't been able to upload the previous episode, but I will be doing both that and this episode tomorrow, hopefully, God willing. And last and most importantly, we've got artwork now. Everyone's got their little characters next to them on the stream. They all look great.
Where is it?
Shannon, yours is to the bottom, your bottom left. Yeah, there we go. Very pleased with them.
As well.
So huge thanks to Anna Z, the artist who did them. Yeah, big thanks to her.
So good.
Should be a link to her stuff in the description. Anyway,
I love Heilung.
shall we get cracking? Unless
I've
Shannon,
got one small.
go ahead.
It's very hot in London right now, so my window is open. But I also live in a noisy area. If it gets too much, I will suffer. Tell me to close my window. I'll deal with it.
Yeah, actually, same for me. I mean, we've had not so much noisy area, but some of the neighbours have been getting colourful with their words. So if that does bleed into the stream, do let me know, and I'll have to close the windows and just boil inside my room. But other than that, we all good to go?
Yeah.
Great. So to recap last time, you'd come to the trade post Rafe Reach at the edge of the great, or not the great, the Salt Desert Z. This expanse of white that's perhaps just a fairly alien sight to some of you, particularly Corellia, having grown up amongst green all of her life. You came here with the wizard's apprentice, Nookh, who has come here, not coincidentally, at the same time as the half-legion surrounding Moda Rayforte, this dignitary from the Empire of Thype, who is in this place, and Nookh has spied this magic at work, this protection upon Moda, and has some intentions upon her that he hasn't informed you about yet, but you have, at his request, helped him infiltrate to the centre of the mess of tents surrounding this place. It's Barnelect and Jurab who have made it this far with him, although Barnelect is apart from the rest. But yeah, you've made it all the way to the periphery of this very important person's tent and Jurab's former master. Shall we begin? So, tonight the moon is a waxing crescent so thin it is almost invisible, casting no light upon your surroundings. Flickering firelight is the only provider of illumination here, drawing the gaudy colours of the tents and standards into an obnoxious array of oranges. Beyond the furtive moon, distant stars wink in and out of existence as they are intermittently eclipsed and revealed by the lethargic passage of unlit debris that moves in shoals across the sky. Your actions tonight have mirrored the stars. Throughout your stealthy infiltration of the Rayforte Half-Legion, you've been only intermittently visible, and never noticed when so. Through luck and combined skill, 3 of you have made your way to the edge of the Grand Marquee at the epicenter of these tents. The hour is late, and the soldiers of Rayforte, taxed by a day's march and a night's merrymaking, are mostly retiring to their bedrolls. Only a few drunken stragglers and the night's watch remain, the former slumped beside fire pits and the latter standing stiffly at their posts. 6 such soldiers stand posted around Moda Rayforte's marquee, 2 at its entrance, and the other 4 surrounding the teal-coloured tent at evenly spaced intervals. Even though the marquee is large, it is small enough that each guard is within view of the next, to their right and their left side. Jurab and Nookh, you scrutinise this arrangement near the back of the marquee, hidden in the shadows of an alleyway formed between 2 other tents. The spell Nookh cast upon both of you has since faded, and your blurred, hazy form that concealed you has now congregated back to your true appearance. Now that you see him clearly again, something is wrong with Nookh's arm. Just before you almost noticed, Nookh seemed to almost reach inside of it, and now you see a flap of a skin-like mesh of silver triangles opens to reveal a tear on the inside of the forearm. Over this tear in the triangular mesh, a magical veneer that has given it the appearance of Nookh's dark skin flickers, disrupted, revealing some illusion is at work here, and you wonder how much of the arm, or how much of Nookh, is a facade. Across the way, in a similar alley, you're right, Harry, Barnelect crouches, hidden, neck sunken low, hand nervously rested upon his sword hilt. From your view, Sam, you can see a bit into the front entrance of the marquee, and within the shady interior, you catch the flickering glint of candlelight upon gold and silver, and the smell of incense drifts from the marquee's mouth into the night air. First of all, I'm going to ask for Zurab to give me an intelligence check as he was observing these guards.
My intelligence is 0, I think, so... Wrong sheet, sorry. That's a 6.
A 6. Okay. We'll get to you in a sec, Sam. Do you want to...
I mean, I've got an 11. I don't know whether or not that's going to...
Jurab's a dunce. Let him be a dunce on his own.
11 would be better than a... Was it 6 you got,
6.
Harry?
That's basic maths.
You know,
okay, yeah.
10 to 14 is an average person, so it might help. You don't know.
Leave it. He's a dunce.
All right.
He's a moron.
Okay.
Okay.
Let him fail.
Observing these guards currently, Zurab, you're just thinking of the times you've seen them previously. You know, recognizing it's the same standard issue equipment of the soldiers that you've been around for the past 5 years.
So have I seen the guards before, or just this type of guards before?
These type of guards. I'm going to make a luck roll for you to see if you know any of these people personally.
Here we go.
No.
The ape god comes.
You don't recognise any of these particular people, I'm afraid. Sam, is there something that Barnelect is doing?
I'm trying to have a little look and see who else has made it this far. Am I anywhere near them?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Right. I got 14 plus. Sorry, perception. 16.
16. You knew previously, about 15 minutes ago, that there was a group of Kyrilia and Jurab and Nookh heading in the same direction as you, still as of yet unseen by the people here, but now you've got no clue. You don't know if anyone else has made it this far.
Crap. Okay. How many people can I see outside the tent?
So you can see 2 people directly at the entrance to the marquee, and then where you are, you can make out 2 other people going around. But judging by the spacing, you think there might be about 6 people surrounding this thing.
Oh, what do I do? Is there a way that I can get closer without drawing attention?
You're kind of at the edge of
Okay.
where you can hide behind, currently at least. There is a kind of, you think, looking around, a fairly deliberate gap between this place and the surrounding tents to give a certain amount of protection for the watch to look around. Not much, though. I'll put it as 30 feet between you and the marquee.
Okay. I'm going to go... so if it's in front of me, I'm going to go left where I think I could meet someone else.
Okay, you think... yeah, sure. So, yeah, you want to... So you're saying you want to kind of try to sneak around to being closer to where you think Jurab and Nookh and Kyrilia might be.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you want to give me a stealth check, then?
I certainly do. Can I also use Fortunate Son here?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Because I believe last time... Are you keeping track of your luck points, by the way?
I am indeed.
Good.
Good,
Yes. Spend them.
Oh, crud. Stealth, was it?
Stealth, yes.
Even with Fortunate Son, I got a 6 and a 2.
Oof.
And stealth is +4. So I got 12.
12. You can use your golden path rolls. Remember, if you wish.
Yeah, I will in this instance. So I'll use my 11. So now all I've got is a 4. So I'll use my 11. So that's 13, 17.
Okay.
Which hopefully will
17.
be better.
You got a 17, you say?
I do say. I
Okay.
do.
You shrink back into the shadows. Jurab and Ilech, you are observing this place. While you're you've just got here, you're readying yourselves. You're kind of, you're letting the sweat from when you were almost noticed previously, before that guard was distracted by a cat that very luckily came out at the right moment. You're letting that kind of just cool on you for a moment, and let your heartbeat settle. You see across the way where you've got a view of the guards watching the front of this place. One of them looks to the other, and you can't catch them quite on the breeze unless you want to give me a perception check to try to listen. But one of them looks to the other and says something and points out across the way.
I will give.
I'm going to try and listen. I'm going to try and listen.
Perception check there.
Can I note, great immersion on the sweat thing, because I'm sweating a lot right now because of this infernal temperature.
Okay. So Sam, it's Harry giving me the perception check here. You've backed away.
Oh, sugar. Sorry.
That's a 13.
It's a shame because I got 23.
Okay, I'll say if you're keeping an ear out, I'll say on a 23 you might catch. I think as you're slinking away, you kind of hear a see that. You think there's a kind of an intonation of concern in one of the guards' voices.
No.
You see a few words pass between the guards here.
Can I perceive where Sam Dunlect is?
What did you just get on a perception check?
Not very much. 13.
No, you're not sure. You don't even know if he's made it here.
Okay.
At last you saw Barnlect and Locks were sneaking this way, but you have no idea. So let me just quickly check my notes. Okay. So you and Nookh are kind of hiding in the kind of the recesses of this alleyway. You kind of, prick your head up a bit to try to listen, look about, see if you can see Barnlect and Locks. Nookh kind of with a hand shoos you down, kind of indicating stay low, finger to lips. He kind of looks around and tries to point to something. Can you give me a perception check on advantage?
What, again, or do I just use my 13?
This is a separate perception check.
So on advantage, that is... Ooh, that's not bad. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20, okay. So Nookh appears to kind of indicate some kind of rounded shape to the side of this marquee, and you follow his finger line, and you don't notice it at first, and then you see a slight wonkiness, a line of it in the night air. And as you kind of notice it and begin to get a sense for it, you can kind of see around. It's invisible to see in front of you, but when you look to the edges, you can see there's this almost like a kind of impossibly thin layer of glass covering the marquee, this sphere ever-centered upon the place. Nookh looks to you, recognizes that you've seen this kind of this covering, this protection, indicates to his arm, and you see again this strange flickering tear, and to the sphere, and indicates no. And you get the sense that what he's communicating is, I can't enter this area with my arm like this.
I'm so confused. Does he want me to fix it?
Use your gun, mate.
Use your fucking gun, mate.
Are we
What are you good for?
are we in the sort of situation where a conversation would get us heard?
A whisper is a very low risk, but it is a risk, so he's trying to avoid it as much as possible. You can
Okay.
talk if you wish.
I take out my gun and I aim it. I don't shoot, but I aim it at the circle.
He immediately
He
is
shook his head.
putting a hand. He kind of recognizes.
right.
He looks around, doesn't see anyone too nearby. Recognizes the need for conversation and kind of leans in and whispers, "I need to get in there, but while this field is covering the place, I will be detected as I am. Unfortunately, having to indicating to his kind of torn part of his arm, disrupt my plans like this has meant I'm unable to just slip through."
Okay, so Jorab the Dullard reholsters his gun, probably shamefully.
Disappointedly. He goes,
What can I do about that?
looking to the gun, he goes, "We must not be discovered here. We are at the center of enemy territory.
Yes, okay, that was stupid. How can I help you with this arm
I
problem?
want you to also understand, if we are discovered now or discovered later, that can throw my plans into disarray. Silence and as little disruption as possible is key. Here, you
Yes,
understand?"
okay, no shooting. No shooting, okay.
He, using a finger, draws a, I can never say this right, icosahedron, a 20-sided shape, like a D20, into the dirt. Kind of very neatly does this geometric shape. Goes, "There'll be one of these inside there, creating this area. It needs to be disabled for me to get in."
I'm sorry.
I should have got drunk with locks.
Okay, so I go in there, I find the spooky shape thing, I disable it without using the gun, and then you come in and sort everything else out?
Yes. I am able to create areas of silence that may help us here, but
Thank God for that.
let me finish. But what I just did there, indicating backwards to where he kind of made you and him very hard to perceive for a brief window, I cannot do again and complete what I wanted to do here.
All right, I'll be fine. I'm going in.
Okay.
But listen, last
how are you
point,
going
John.
in? I'd like to be clued in here.
As quietly as possible.
I mean, he kind of looks out across the way at this guard who would immediately see you if you just to walk out, and you would be almost immediately in front of them.
Oh, is there literally no way of me getting to the door without being
Currently,
noticed?
if you just walked out, no, someone would absolutely see you, and most likely two people would see you, unless, like, by some miracle, both of them were like looking the other way at the same time, but and you could then, I don't know, climb
One might
up
say
or
you
slice
needed-
through the tent side and not be heard.
Is there any way of you making some sort of loud noise over in that direction? And I sort of point to the right-hand side of the tent, sort of around it.
Right hand side. Okay, so where Barnlect was, brilliant.
Hello!
I thought he was on the left.
No, he said I'm Sam. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said you're heading left.
I'm sorry, I don't know where Barnlect is. So
No,
sorry.
you are correct.
I believe Barnlect said he was.
no.
Sam said you were heading left. I hadn't decided particularly on which either side you were on, but Sam made it canonical. You've said to the right. So
Sorry, Barney.
no,
Looks like
kind of looks around and
Barney's
goes,
luck has ran out.
"Well, have you got anything? Have you got anything heavy to throw? I can make
No, I
noise
don't
like
know.
anyone else can."
Didn't you produce that cat earlier?
No,
Can't you make it go over there and yowl?
that was a cat. That was just a cat. That was very lucky.
Ah,
I mean,
I must have assumed that it was you who created it.
I can hear my heart in my ears. I'm still terrified. That was probably the most tense moment of my life.
All right, I'm just looking at my list of stuff that I'm currently carrying to see if I can.
Sure.
There's anything I can
Yeah,
throw.
I haven't listed out like every knick-knack that Nookh has on his person, so yeah, I mean he won't have nothing he'll have of particular weight would be anything he would be able to, like, willingly
Right.
could willingly throw away.
Is there
Is there any chance or any way
Oh,
that I
okay.
can rig one of my bullets to explode when thrown? You know, in the same way those little pop things that you used to, like, it technically that shouldn't be that difficult if you pull the end out and you put a bit of flint.
Give me a either sleight of hand or just basic dexterity check.
I'll go with a sleight of hand.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
18 plus 6, 24.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, you just easily pull one of these things out. You pull out the slug. You tear off a piece of cloth. You feed it in. You plug the hole, and you can see there's a torch nearby. You could very quickly just reach out, light this thing, and throw it. And you think in maybe 20, 30 seconds, this would produce a kind of a loud bang.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay, give me a...
I'm communicating that that's what I'm going to do, not just, like, you know, just running off immediately, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
Do you want to give me a dexterity? Just roll and add your dexterity. I don't think you can be proficient in throwing bullet firecrackers.
Burning my inspiration.
Okay.
Better. Not great. 8.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's 5 plus 3 as well.
8 is not great. You.
I just need to throw a thing.
Yeah, I know. You just need to throw. I mean, are you really trying to? This is the thing. I'll let you have some control here. Do you want to throw this thing too hard or too soft?
Oh, mate, no. Don't want to drop your feet.
Hey, where's that 11 gone? Just a question.
I think I used it.
Yeah,
didn't I?
Barlek just burned his 11.
Oh, god damn it. Okay.
And this is sufficiently abstract from Barlek that I don't think it would be.
I think it's going to make enough of a noise, so I want to throw it too hard. It's a like black powder cartridge. They're not quiet.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So you very deftly. I mean, you've done this before. Pull up the slug thing in quickly, light it, and just hurl this thing over your shoulder. And Nookh kind of looks, kind of like, I think he might have overcalibrated this thing as it just sings into the night air. It, like Team Rocket blasting off again, just goes off and winks away. We cut back now to Barnlect. Barnlect, you're moving through. You're not too stealthy, but you've been keeping a keen ear out. And you think you hear slightly raised voices travelling through the night. Not full alarm, but concern. You think some people might have seen you, or they think they might have seen someone at least. As you're going, you hear a kind of loud bang. Suddenly makes you kind of jump. Your hackles raise.
How close is that to me?
Not too near. You think maybe kind of half a minute away, and far further away from this place. But it makes you jump, and you hear a few shouts of alarm go up. You're heading your way. Hold on. I'm just going to roll something.
Can I ask what it is?
Yes. It's the people. It's the watch who are now heading out to search for this person they think they might have seen, and then the sound of a loud bang. But thankfully, they've done a natural 1 and a 9 on their investigation checks, which modified are still going to be below your stealth. But you can tell that people. There are a few guards beginning to go into kind of the back alleyways and the shadows here and poke around into tents, looking around. A stir has begun to go up. I'm just going to roll to see. You're kind of keeping your eye on your back more than your front, and you step out into an alleyway and you hear Barnlect, and look round to see Nookh and Zurab kind of nervously waiting. Beyond the kind of alleyway that's formed that they're in, you can see a guard who's looking off in the direction of this bang. I'll say you've all joined up as a trio at this point. Zurab, you've thrown this thing. It's made a bang in the distance. It's drawn the attention of the guards here. They're all looking in one direction. That doesn't mean that you have necessarily a clear path into this tent. And also, you would probably have to figure out some way of getting through the wall of cloth here. Crawling under might take a little while. You could cut through. That could make noise. As before,
I have a knife. I'll cut through.
As before, I don't want to have Nookh decide the actions too much. You as a party are the ones who are going to have to navigate this with your own skills. You can use Nookh as a resource, and he might advise you on things, but he's not going to have much agency here, at least. Just so you've got someone to me.
Have the guards moved now that there's a bang?
The ones around here haven't moved yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll something. So I'm just rolling.
Hello, friends.
Listen, my camel friend, you have anything good I can throw over there to create, some sort of noise?
I was thinking that as well, but no, I literally have nothing apart from this, and I pick up the stick of cinnamon that I've been carrying.
The magical cinnamon stick solves all problems.
It got you into this place. I mean, it's pretty good. It's
Are there any animals around?
Are there any? Okay, you can give me an animal handling check if you actually want to test that.
That's a genuine question.
Okay.
Okay, yo. Animal handling check. 12 plus 19.
19. Okay, on a 19, I'm going to say you kind of, for a moment when you think these guards, they're all looking in the direction of where this bang came from, you kind of briefly raise your neck up a bit and sniff the night air, and you think you perhaps catch the faintest whiff of camel dung on the breeze somewhere. Not too near, you think at least a minute away, but you suspect there's a stable of camels somewhere not too far away. Not anywhere immediately in the vicinity, but
Okay, all right.
That's the knowledge you gain from that, because you got I rolled for luck to see how lucky it was, and you got a 3. So otherwise you might have found like a whole group of horses just right next to you or something.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Around this point, you hear a fairly authoritative voice speak from a little ways away, but loud enough and kind of dominant enough that you all do hear the words said. Right, you're coming with me. Zurab recognizes this voice. Give me an intelligence check, Harry.
Solid 10.
Solid 10. Yeah, you recognize this voice. It wasn't that long ago that you were hearing it last. River to Chai, the Gloa bodyguard to Moda Rayforte. On a 10, you just know that's the name. You don't manage to deductively infer anything from the circumstances here. You don't see her, but you can tell she's nearby. To give you some information, I mean, you never saw her fight, but she's kind of long in the tooth, and so if kept around, you suspect she has kind of a lot of competence to martial skill. Although you never saw her holding daggers, not traditionally the weapon of someone who fights for a living, but that's all you kind of recall on a 10. But you suspect she's nearby, and you see her rounding up guards. I'm going to roll to see which one of the ones that are in front of you she takes with.
All of them.
Blimey, what was that?
No window, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can close the window. I can close it if you need me to.
Sure. No, it's all right. If it's only intermittently, we should be okay. So, Sam, I'm going to say now, for the benefit of you with your golden path, I've just rolled to see which guards are being drawn. I had a very unlucky number, and 2 of the ones you can see near you are looking to their compatriots and kind of, nodding to them, saying, indicating, you keep watch. I guess I'm going with her, and walking away. The last one, based on the tables I've written up, is still the one most immediately in front of you. They got a 15, which means that they were not picked to move.
All right. I would like to change that, please.
Sure. To a 4? I think that's the last number.
To a 4. That's my last golden path. I'm spending them like it's like
Sure.
the chicken nuggets.
How You spend chicken nuggets?
If a world required currency of chicken nuggets, I would be spending
Sir, that
them
is
like
not legal tender.
I have played a video game where
Chicken
chicken nuggets are the currency.
Currency for the
not as-
secret menu.
tender of these.
They are very tender.
Yeah.
So you hear these voices come up. Barnlex, you look and you see a few of these guards begin to move, and you think, Christ, wouldn't it be lucky if the guy right in front of us was also to be picked? And lo and behold, he stands there, indicates, and then kind of you see, looks to the side and goes, me too? Okay. And begins to walk away. Now, this doesn't mean the immediate vicinity is clear, but this has dramatically, due to some very poor rolls, has dramatically reduced how hard it's going to be, at least to get to the side of this marquee. Shannon, what's up?
Does Barney know that he has these powers, or
No.
does it just happen?
No, he was just lucky. He's just pure luck. Just really lucky that, those guards were picked.
Fucking love the characters so much. It's so good. It looks the coolest. It has the best mechanics, and the voice is excellent. I'm so jealous constantly.
Oh, shush.
This
It's
opening...
just a dweeb that doesn't know what's going on.
This opening has appeared. These guards are going to search the area, which means that where you are right now may itself be on the path of a search not that long from now.
Do I have a clear path to a door, or
no? There is the one open air entrance to this marquee, which you can see round the side. One of the guards is still in front of it. The other one further around the side, you can kind of catch. You can see their arm and maybe the tip of their spear kind of poking around the side. But unless they were to lean forward and look very deliberately around, they wouldn't see you approaching.
Is there a flap we can slide under?
You could certainly try to lift up a tent. I mean, it's a tent. It's made of cloth at the end of the day. It wouldn't be that hard to lift. But you can see it has been, taut ropes staked down. This thing is properly set up. I mean, it is the most important person here. So it's not the kind of thing that's just going to be lifted by a breeze. I'm gonna
go and try and slit a bit open of the
Sure.
tent as quietly as possible
Okay.
in the place that is the furthest away from all guards around the tent that I
Okay.
can get to right now.
Sure. Sam, before that happens, because Jirab is going to be sneaking across the way, is there anything you want to do mechanically?
No, I'm gonna hang back, because if we both get caught, we're
So,
screwed.
I just want to be completely fair here. There are two guards here that you can see. They're positioned in such ways that they're unlikely to see you unless they're really scrutinizing the area, but it's still possible. So
And I've wasted all my golden paths. So
you have. Well, you have. My point is, you have other abilities, but if you're not,
I do have other things.
So-
And so, my question to that would be, is if I'm using Unfortunate One, would that affect Jurab as well?
No. So what it does is it just modifies people you choose as roles.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
that
you
was
might
why I
just say,
didn't
like-
use it, because I thought it was
Oh, no,
any
to be
creature
clear,
within
you
30
can
feet of me.
you, Sam, can be like, I want that person and that person to be unlucky.
All right,
a
excellent.
little less lucky, at least. Sorry, that might have been unclear on your character sheet. That is my fault.
No,
So I'm
that's
very happy
that's
to-
great. So Barney's kind of like stood there, like understood that, understanding that Jirab's going to go for it, and Barney just like thinks to himself, he's like, oh boy, it'd be great if these guys just were a little bit slightly more unlucky than
They
we
just
are.
make sure they look in the wrong direction. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So track your luck points, because you're using Unfortunate One twice here.
I'm-
two of the guards.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. So,
I'm running low.
Harry, do you want to give me a stealth check?
Before I do, can I, as I go, can I whisper, when I
Sweet
cut the tent, make it quiet. He said
Oh,
that you can
yes,
make
of course.
quiet stuff.
Sorry, I thought you were saying it's
all
quiet.
areas of silence.
Yeah, Nookh looks around. He reaches inside of his arm, and you see kind of pulls something out. It appears almost to be a kind of a little
Gross.
tin whistle or something. It is a bit creepy seeing him reach inside his arm. It suggests there's some kind of cavity inside his forearm. And he's also put this thing to his lips and kind of in an imitation of playing like a recorder or flute, makes gestures upon it with his fingers. And there's a brief sucking noise. What the hell?
As in the noise of a motorbike.
The noise of a motorbike happens. No,
No, more quiet, Nook. Quiet.
there's a kind of sucking noise, and it gets just a little bit quieter, the ambient noise in the vicinity, and you realise you're not hearing now the gentle flapping of some of the cloth across the way from you. So, can you give me that stealth check, please?
19 plus 6, 25.
Brilliant. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. You slip over to this thing, and none of the guards look round to your way. You have a moment up against this thing. No one, you can't, like, next to the cloth here, you cannot see anyone aside from Barnlect and Nookh, but you think you mainly have a moment here. So what do you do? And as you step into this thing, it's kind of like, you know, like that sound effect when suddenly things get like pressurized or put in a sealed container, that sound, and you are kind of in this area where there's no sound outside of it. So you lose your own sense of hearing for a moment. You step into this enclosed space, and then as you walk through, you can just kind of hear the muffled of your own footsteps through the mud, and really nothing else.
Sick.
So, what are you doing?
Wait, I've cut the tent and got in.
Oh, are you cutting it? Give me an attack roll with your dagger.
Sorry, I am my dagger in.
Whilst that's going, Liam, can I just double check what my luck points are based on?
Your wisdom score, I believe.
My wisdom score, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
My attack roll was a 23.
23. Okay, yeah. You just neatly, you know, you've probably done something similar to this before. Knife down and just neat hole, as only as wide as it needs to be, and you assumedly slip inside.
Yeah, like a little parachute roll then.
You do like a nice tumble roll in. Do you go like guns out?
A stealth roll, like in video games.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
All those video games.
I just pull out my guns and I just start going, fuck them. No, I don't do it.
Okay. There is something from each of the four corners of the world in this tent. A circlet from the freeholds beyond the shore of Songs. A sword from the far-flung kingdom of Sveldu. The carapace of a mechanical beetle from the mythical jungle of Cud. Many of these objects have history beyond your knowledge, but the glittering opulence that fills this marquee is no less impressive to the ignorant. And it is not just sights that fill this place. Smells of incense and strange perfumes hang heavy in the air. A bronze orb, punctured with swirling patterns, contains a light source, and the twisting shapes cast onto the marquee walls give the interior an almost dreamlike quality. Occupying much of the interior space here is a large bed of hardy dark wood and cream-coloured sheets, and within the sleeping form of Moda Rayforte, arm wrapped around the slight frame of a young man. You come in here. I'm going to carry over your 25 in stealth. You move silently through this place, exiting the area of silence, but still no less quiet. And for a brief moment you pause, I will say, over the sleeping form of your former master of 5 years, who looks kind of vulnerable, a lot smaller than perhaps you remembered, even though it was effectively only a week ago that you last saw them. But you only ever saw them in their waking hours when they had authority and stature, and here it's just you above them. What are you doing?
I'm
thirsty.
I just have, in my head, I have Jurab whipping out like a camera phone and being like, "Welcome to prank level 2," and then just like, I don't know, pouring shaving foam over her head. But he resists the urge to go for a sucker punch.
The urge to do an epic prank. Great. What is it?
The epic prank is avoided. No, I'm not going to do an epic prank.
Okay, what is it you are doing?
He resists the urge to sucker punch, and he starts looking around for this fucking quadridodecahedron thing.
Okay, give me an investigation check for the quadridodecahedron.
Shit,
As
on
you
the floor.
twisted.
Oh, 7.
7. We cut now to Barnlect and Nookh outside.
Can I just go? I'm going to need to leave for 30 seconds, so it's crashing and that sounds of consternation from next door. I'll be back.
Okay, I can't hear
very
it, but
quickly.
sure.
Apologies.
Okay, well, brilliant. We're cutting away. Barnlect and Nookh. Nookh has explained to you in the brief moments very quickly, summarily. Sorry, what's up, Grace?
I have a question. Did I detect anything weird about Nookh's arm when I scanned him with the runes that appear over magic items?
You aren't there, but no, you didn't.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
That's it. That's my question.
Okay. But that was when the arm was intact. Nookh has explained to Barnelect, I can't go in there with this, and has indicated the kind of the area surrounding this thing that you almost didn't see. This thing, and points back to the icosahedron he's drawn into the dirt, kind of fills in the lines you've stepped on. This needs to be disabled before I can go inside and do what I need to do. Looks back to the tent. He's been a while. Do you think everything's okay?
Would you like me to go in and follow him? But will you be okay if I leave you?
You have both been aware that the sounds of searching guards has been getting ever so closer, both your ears being very keen, raised by your nervousness. And you detect that Nookh thinks there may not be much time for him to be hanging around here. Let me just check quickly the rules on silence. I don't know if it would have ended yet. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Yes. So he'll go. The area of quiet is still maintained. I think it'd be best if you go now. Yes.
Okie dokie.
Do you want to give me a stealth check?
I do.
How long does your unfortunate one last?
Unfortunate one lasts. When it just says whenever a creature within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll or saving throw, the target roll. So does that mean that I have to expend it every time?
No, I don't believe
because it doesn't give me a time frame. But Fortunate Son.
That's my mistake. Oh god, bad DM. It should be a minute because it's kind of like the bless and spells.
1 minute because it says Fortunate Son 1 minute.
I'm gonna quickly write a note to myself. That's my fault. Sam, you can have inspiration for my cock up there.
Oh, that's okay. I've already got something.
No, okay. Who wants inspiration?
I'll have 2.
Harry,
give him a luck point.
Yours. I'll give Harry your inspiration because that is genuinely my mistake. Sorry about that. I should have checked that. Regardless, it will have been less than a minute since you used this on the 2 guards here, so they're still going to get their penalty. So do you want to give me a stealth check as you try to sneak up to this thing and slip through this hole that's been cut by Jurab?
Yeah. My Fortunate Son will have run out by now, though, wouldn't it?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Where did you use it actually?
I
you
used it.
I'll say it just about ran out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Stealth.
Yes.
An unnatural 20.
That's easily fine. You go slip in. The highest one of those guards got was a 3.
Okay.
Very unlucky disadvantage rolls, and your unfortunate one. You quickly slip in this place. Jurab, you hear kind of a faint step behind you and look around to see that Barnelect has slipped in here. You know, his neck kind of ducked to sloop through this thing first.
Have I found the D20 yet?
No, you got a 7 on your investigation yet, right?
So have I been looking and frustratedly not finding it?
Yeah, you're going through plenty of valuable things, but you're not seeing this icosahedron.
Right. I think I've got tired enough of it that I'm now looking for things to steal instead.
I'm going to say that it's only been about 30 seconds of searching, but you're doing kind of a quick sweep of this place essentially, and you've not found it. But you can start stealing things if you wish. The words of Nookh about kind of not being detected ring in your head perhaps briefly, but you can still steal things if you wish.
What's the smallest thing here that's still somewhat valuable?
You got an investigation of 7, right?
God damn it. Surely there's like an appraisal skill that overrides it.
Okay, you know what? I will let you make a second investigation roll specifically for this bit on advantage given your background.
Yeah! Oh dear, it's on the floor.
God, what a nightmare.
That's a 17 on that one.
Okay.
They're really close here.
17. Okay, so you will know, okay, Moda, rich person, I hung about. I know she keeps her jewels in a lockbox somewhere, and if I can find that, those things are small. So that's probably you thinking smallest thing here. What have I seen on Moda? Okay, it's her rings, which you recall, gold and silver and platinum and other strange exotic metals besides, set with rubies and emeralds and diamonds and sapphires and other strange valuable stones from far-flung places.
I don't know if Jurab is enough of a moron to give up after 30 seconds of searching for the vital quest.
What's your intelligence
item.
check? Or wisdom, actually. What's your wisdom?
My wisdom's 14.
I
so
think
plus
you
two,
have
so it's
enough
not
of a
actually that
grasp of practicality and how to live life that you think maybe suddenly just trying to loot the place, which might be conspicuous, it might not be the best course of action, at least yet.
The thought of looting crosses his mind.
Yeah. Now's not the time to cash it.
Beginning a mental countdown till I do my own distraction. So you guys can just, do what you like.
So I'm going to say next round of you searching this place, Barnelect and Zurab, you can either both make independent investigation checks or one of you can help the other, giving them advantage.
Does Barnelect look like he's good at finding things?
Does he? Investigation, he's got a +2.
If he has a plus anything, he's better than me. I give him advantage.
Okay, so Sam, do you want to roll an advantage and add a d4? And I'm going to say this is the last... Actually, no, your fortunate son ran out.
No, I haven't got any.
I mean, you can use it again if you wish, but yeah.
I'm going to leave it for now. But is it an advantage? So do I roll 2?
Yeah, you roll 2, pick the higher.
Okie doke. But wait. I got a close call, but I also actually got a 13. So I got 13.
The higher number counts as the number you have rolled.
That's sad. 15.
Well, what is it you wanted to do with the close call? Is it you rolled a natural 1? You want to re-roll it?
I rolled a natural 1, but then I just roll again, so it doesn't really make sense. Anyway, to do so.
So I don't know actually where the rules are on this. For now, I will let you do it. I will let you use your thing to re-roll natural 1s on advantage.
I'll expend.
And after this game, I'll show you the rules for that.
Are you talking about re-rolling the natural 1 of a advantage that you're not? Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna do some scholarship
because it's cool. I'm gonna say for now, I'm gonna allow you to re-roll it. In the future, that might change. I'm not sure the ruling here.
Okay, it didn't help. Oh, okay. I rolled lower than 13. That would have been really cool.
That would have been cool. Sorry, man.
But yeah, so what was it? I said it was
15.
15.
Okay, 15. You begin to search this place with a bit of a... Oh, wait, hold on. Grace, where are you going? I need you. No. Oh, we were going to cut away to Ailey. Well, okay, fine. I guess we're not.
Oh, no, she got the book.
Okay. While you begin to search this place, Barnelect with a bit more sense, you've been around wares and, storage and travel. You kind of have you can kind of intuit that this is not an ordinary thing you would be searching for. And as such, feel inclined to search in perhaps less regular places. Meanwhile, we're going to cut away to Ailey. Grace, Ailey has been entertaining some religious figures, and now with the creation of your sacred territory, you have drawn a large crowd of, kind of skilled labourers, minor nobles, kind of middle class, petty bourgeois kind of types, the people who are occupying the area you're within. First and foremost, do you want to give me some ideas of what imagery Ailey has been creating?
I thought I might create some sort of show of mystical symbols, specifically trying to sort of weave parallels between the iconography of the god statues of Dwerinish and the lesser elemental spirits of the Thype religion.
Sure. Okay. I seem to recall you got a fairly good religion check on this last time, so we'll carry that forward. To give you a sense of who you've been talking to, because now I've actually written names for them. So the sage you've been talking to, the person whose job it is to know the religious lore and texts and so on, is Sage Inifredo, and the preacher you spoke to previously who took you here is Extola Aldo. How long do you think you do this for? You got, I believe you got 20, might have been even 25 on your religion. So you have a fairly captive audience here. You know how to provide the narrative to kind of to keep things along. You can really do this for as long as you like, within reason, of course. I just want to get a sense of basically how long are you doing this for, and is there anything you want AD to work towards here?
So what I would like to do is to get as much attention and as much sort of maybe upheaval within the camp as possible, just to sort of, because I don't expect to be able to get near the main tent. But if I sense it's going well, I might try to finesse it into some sort of invitation to the central space. Because I have this feeling that getting into the center would be valuable.
Sure. Give me
and if I can bring a throng, a crowd, it's cover, it's distraction.
Okay, give me a, I'm going to say performance check, because no one here is, except for maybe Sage Inifredo, is not necessarily of high enough rank to really kind of, permit you there. So give me a performance check.
So that's a skill with a +0. I'm trying to wonder if there's any way I can justify any other skill.
Okay, I mean, if you want to give me, if you want to say like, oh, I'm talking about doing X, Y, Y. Oh, I think we could try to do this together. Like, if you give me some other alternate narrative that might justify it, I'll allow you to use a different skill. But currently, you're just trying to, just with the entertainment value of what you're doing, you're trying to draw someone big enough to say, oh, you must come see my friends. Unless you want to try some alternate route. Can I
try to offer some kind of very minor innovation that is on the religious theology that's like, is not dramatic enough to be heretical, but it is exciting?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's going to be its own separate religion check then.
Mm-hmm. I'm much happy with making that check.
You are talking to, so you will have gauged at this point that Sage Inifredo is very knowledgeable. They have a fairly extensive understanding of both their faith and surrounding faith.
Okay.
You notice that they have a particular vernacular where they refer to Dwer Inish and other religions that they in their heads connect as kind of slightly contorted or sub-religions to the faith as outer faiths is what they call them.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to give me that religion check?
So I roll a 7, and I'm going to re-roll that with my inspiration, and that's a 12 with my bonus is 19.
Okay. I'm going to say you work towards this, but Sage Inifredo, definitely your theological equal, seems more than content to hold you here and talk with you. At least you think for now that route is not, it doesn't really work. You bring out, these kind of fairly dry academic theological, flares and so on. And Inifredo kind of responds to them in kind and says, "Oh, have you not heard of so-and-so's interpretation of why?" And all this stuff. And it's that subtle sparring of I think I know more than you do. I
imagine I'm losing on the literature, and I'm not able to sort of respond. There are orthodoxies that block my attempts, and I don't have responses to that.
Yeah, Thype is at an epicenter of an empire, which means that oh, Sam, we've lost you, and you've turned green and flickering for a moment there. Oh, he's back. Thype is at the center of an empire. The knowledge flows to this person, and they have drunk deep of that well, mixing metaphors here, but they just have a lot more at their disposal than you do. Is that if there's nothing else particular that you try, how long do you want to stay here for, basically?
So I have this idea that I'll know when Nookh is done, but if not, I'm going to leave when it gets dark, or they ask me to go.
So it's dark already. It is nighttime.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'll leave when people start getting losing interest, or if I start getting tired,
Okay.
or if something happens that makes me think that Nookh has finished his plan.
Okay, sure. So you're perhaps waiting for a sign or waiting for things to peter out. Currently, they haven't petered out. Shall we just go over to Shannon? Carillia, last we left, used her abilities to create a burst of fire, which distracted some guards, which allowed everyone else to slip away while you controlled this thing. It didn't go out of control. Is Carillia doing anything else here, or are you going to try to slip out of this place and return to the room you had at Rayforte?
Yeah, I think I said last time that I was going to leave, so I don't want to go back on that.
Okay, do you want to
I
give me
think
a
she was
stealth check
leaving,
then?
yeah. Sorry?
Do you want to give me a stealth check as you slip out of this place? Be easier to
Okie
leave than to get
dokie.
in.
That's a 20.
A 20, yeah. You kind of basically go the same route. You know the kind of where the shadows are, the alleyways. You slip out of this place and come to the edge. We'll get back to you later. We go back now to the marquee of Moda Rayforte, where Barnelect...
One other thing.
Oh, yes.
I do have a distraction blind if things seem to go real bad. So I'll think about that one.
I'm sure you do. Grace. It terrifies me slightly, but...
Lastly, the handbook is explicit. Lucky and advantage works the way you ruled it.
as in you can re-roll advantages. Oh, well, that's brilliant then. So, Sam, you can do that in the future.
It literally says a halfling can
well,
in the
great.
advantage bit.
Superb. So, we go back to Moda's tent. Barnelect, looking around, you think, well, this thing is something out of place. From what I understand from Nookh, it is some kind of protection. It has to be active. It can't be something tucked away in a drawer somewhere. That isn't really how these people operate. Looking around, you realise, well, the dome was centred upon this marquee, and what is at the centre here? And you extend your neck up to rise to just beneath this this orb that is casting light throughout this place. And you can kind of peer inside, kind of angling around a bit through some of the swirling gaps in this thing. You eventually see this object of a kind of perfectly flat, untarnished grey. Kind of like a platinum grey rather than an iron grey. It doesn't have a kind of a dirty darkness to it. There's a perfect cleanliness to this icosahedron that is cupped inside of this brazier, and at its base some kind of slow burning fuel holds a fire that casts light out. You can see a catch on the side. You get the sense that kind of opens a little doorway in this thing, a hinge that you think people would use to pour more fuel into this light. But you don't see anywhere, at least just looking at this thing quickly, where there would be a large enough portal in this object to pull out this icosahedron. And I will say that it's held at the top of this marquee by essentially it's hooked into a part of the ceiling, and you could reach up. You're tall enough to reach up and get your hands on it. Although it might be hot, given that it's burning fuel inside of it.
Yes, and we need to break it. That's what
Nookh said. You need to disable this icosahedron.
I found it.
I don't know. Go ahead and grab it. Then I mean, you're taller than me. Take a. Have a go.
I'm assuming Zurab is whispering here.
Yes.
Kind of hit.
I can't do a stage whisper.
Moda
Sorry,
does
I'm
snore.
not an actor.
Having a tapir nose does kind of have an odd snore to her. Right. Okay. How are you going to try to get this thing down?
Are there? Do I have gloves?
I mean,
what's my character art?
Your character art doesn't have gloves. I think you have hand wraps. Although,
I think I have quite long sleeves. So can I?
No. I can take off my poncho and give it to him.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we'll do that.
Okay, cool, brilliant. Okay,
do not fucking burn this. It's the only cool bit of clothing that I have.
That's why I'm using it to grab something hot.
Okay. You see Zurab takes off his ponchos. You see that the kind of the strange fish scale thing on the side of his face does have the kind of a peppering of it down his arms as well. Can you give me I'm going to say this is sleight of hand to reach up, try to cut this thing, and then kind of push it up, to unhook it out, and take it down without burning yourself.
I thought that Jurab had the better. Oh, okay. Well done. Oh, it's not bad.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
You might be all right at sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, yeah, not bad.
Yeah, all right.
8, yeah, not bad. 18.
Is that what you rolled? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you can feel the heat beginning to permeate through as you get this thing and lower it and just gently place it onto the earth beneath you. And assumingly hands this poncho back to Zurab. This thing, it's kind of this almost slightly nauseating effect as the strange twisting lights this thing casts kind of flow down the walls as you bring it down and place it. And the light does dim a bit because the light only comes out the sides, and so now the full room is not fully illuminated. This thing is now beneath you. You can see on top that the kind of thing that holds the hook has been riveted in, and you think that is where there was some kind of it was a separate piece of metalwork that had the hook that holds this thing up and couches the icosahedron, and that was then lowered into this larger porous orb. So you're going to have to try to break the rivets and pull it out, or make a dent in this thing or something to pull the icosahedron out.
Lovely. Am I able to take a break here?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to say we'll take a break now for about 15 minutes. We'll be back after everyone's had a momentary rest. Stick around, everyone. See you soon. And we're back. Brilliant. Hello, welcome back to Eaters of the Earth. Anyway, so we've all got food. I'm going to be eating very hot noodles throughout all of this. It's going to be really awful.
Welcome to our mukbang.
Eaters of the Earth. We could do the greatest mukbang. Like, it's
terrible. Well, we'd have to eat Earth though. So, right.
You can invent
left...
all local foods for the thing.
Yeah, I suppose so.
They'd all be disgusting, knowing Liam. They'd just be various types of grilled rodent.
Well, I think the best one I did was giant insect eggs, gooey on the outside and crunchy on the inside.
Yum yum.
That was a good one.
It's the opposite of a Ferrero Rocher.
Anyway,
Disgusting.
let's get back to it. So last we left off, Barnlect and Jurab, you'd slipped into Moda Rayforte's tent. You'd taken this brazier down from the centre, containing the object of your search, the icosahedron. And now you need to figure out a way to try to get it out. Just to remind you, you've got there's an opening at the side. A little hinge opens a little latch. No, a latch opens a door. Jesus. Which you think is for refueling this thing, but it's not wide enough, at least currently, to take the icosahedron out. Other than that, the thing that couches it is the same thing that holds the hook that suspends it from the ceiling, or did, which is riveted in. So, yeah. How are you going to approach this?
Should we do an investigation check, or to see what?
You can give me
to see how?
If you think there's
to see if.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go on.
But if you want to look for, maybe alternate methods, you could try to get it open or something. You can give me an investigation check, sure.
Sure, why not? Why not, guys?
Zurab can give you advantage on this again, given that he's helping.
Thank you, Jurab. That's very
Apologies
kind.
when I quickly eat noodles.
Hey, 18 plus. So I've got an unnatural 20 there.
Okay. You turn this thing. It's still fairly hot. I mean, the light inside of it is still lit, but kind of the top is cool enough. If you've got kind of something over your hands, you turn this thing around. You can't quite see any other entrances or to this thing, but you do notice that there is a fault line along its equator, essentially. You think this was two hemispheres of bronze that was then put together, and it may be vulnerable along those lines to be split open.
Does it look like I could slip the edge of the knife in and be like?
You could certainly try. That could possibly go wrong and cause the sound of metal scraping against metal, which could be loud. So there's an element of risk there, but you could certainly.
I'm
Try.
going to very gently try.
Okay.
Sam's gonna. Sorry, Barney is gonna hold it.
Okay. Sure.
Can I have your poncho back?
Be very, very careful.
Okay.
Hold it still. Hold still.
I'm going to allow you to make this attack with your dagger on advantage because Barnlect is
An
helping you here.
attack. Surely sleight of hand or something.
Sure. I think sleight of hand and an attack with the dagger will be the same roll, but
They are the same roll. Yes.
It's fine.
Am I doing it on advantage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Liam, you okay?
yeah. No, just eating really hot food.
Post in the chat if you can hear Liam doing disgusting
I'm
slurping
sorry,
noises.
I'm trying to keep it as away from the mic as possible. It doesn't mean like banging my head to the side.
Anyway,
Anyway,
for
Making your obeisances.
That's a 15, which is not a good roll. That was a 9 up to a 15 on an
it's not a
advantage.
particularly bad
Awful.
roll. Okay, you begin to work your knife in, and you do manage to, at one point, kind of puncture it through, and you're slowly, oh so slowly, getting it across. You think you could keep going. It's fairly slow work. I'm going to say, basically, you think you could either keep going with the knife or try to prise this open. Prizing it is more risky. Pushing with the knife takes longer. And you may recall that Nookh didn't think he had that much time, Barnlect.
Prize it, go for it. I'm prizing.
the reward.
I'm still going to allow advantage on this because
Again, another one.
Yeah, because Barnlect is still helping you hold this thing still.
Ooh. Okay, it's marginally better. I'm still just doing an attack roll, right?
Yes.
So it's 21.
21.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will say you kind of wait for the moment and just basically you do this thing so quick and summarily. You ping and just this thing kind of almost like pops open. Half of it doesn't break
beautiful.
away. It makes a kind of a faint as it kind of essentially the bronze warps to open this thing. But there is an opening made in this now. You see at the bottom there's this basin for these this fuel to keep on burning, which is still on fire. The tip of your knife has gotten a bit hot
Look,
put inside this thing.
Blow it out.
Certainly. I'm going to roll a pure luck here. Into yeah, Barnlect, you've got a fairly big mouth. You blow of this thing and it goes out. The room suddenly goes into complete darkness.
Oh no! Oh flip! I'm so sorry.
Okay. As the light.
But is it disabled now?
The light is out. You could reach inside. You don't know if it's become very hot inside this thing, but you could reach out and pluck the icosahedron from this thing. As
I don't
you've done
hear
this- Sorry?
any pitter-patter of feet approaching from outside or anything, do I?
You don't. What
Either friend or person.
Uh,
Enemy, rather.
Not currently, no. You do hear the sound of someone behind you in the bed stirring. Immediately after Barnlect puts the lights out, you think the sudden change in light, even through closed eyes, has slightly stirred this person.
It's your turn for a romance.
Whose? Mine or Jurab's?
I'm going to make another pure luck roll here. You want a
Together, I think.
positive number. Okay.
I'm going to ignore that filth.
I have. Could I apply unfortunate one to them, or is it too late?
You can't do it retroactively, but you can apply it to them now, and it will apply to all further rolls.
Yeah, I'll do that to them. Now.
Okay. The light is out. You can hear someone stirring in the darkness. What do both of you do?
I start pulling out my gun.
Okay.
I'm not aiming it at anyone. I'm just getting
Harry,
it
don't worry,
ready.
because you can't.
I start pulling out the icosahedron.
Okay. This thing might be very
Get
hot.
inside the animal. Sorry.
Do you just reach in and grab it? You can if you want to.
I do so, but like so it's as if I think it may be hot, so I'm going to do a little.
Okay, sure.
You know.
You don't have much time. So you quickly go to touch this thing. You don't feel heat. You may recall that. You may know that. Really, if you touch things too quickly with the tip of your fingers, which are insensitive, you won't feel heat anyway. And you quickly, not feeling heat, grab this thing and pull it out. And then your brain catches up to the station like, oh shit, I might have grabbed something really hot. My hand might be burning now, but it doesn't. This thing is perfectly cool, despite being suspended above a fairly large open flame. It is as if it's been in room temperature this entire time. You grab this thing. You hear this stirring in the darkness. Zurab, you've drawn your gun.
Can I make a swift hide in a corner?
Okay, I'll allow it because this person is kind of stirring from sleep. I'll allow it that you've got like a moment to try to hide as well. So you can give me a stealth check if you want.
Okay.
Zurab, I will say, where you're standing, I mean, there is a doorway to this place, so you could potentially be silhouetted and seen. So it's not like you're invisible. You're inside an unlit space that's covered, but there's still light coming from outside. So you're...
Okay, I'm gonna hide too then.
Sure. Can you both give me
100%.
stealth checks then, please? Quickly eat some noodle in between.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my stealth, even though I've used it so many times this session. 19.
Okay.
Also a 19, but
Alright.
I burnt my inspiration on that again.
Okay. Zurab, you hear the voice of Moda Rayforte stir in the darkness. Tragically, it wasn't her companion who woke up. Who kind of you hear the sound of them. You think kind of adjusting, maybe raising themselves up in the bed. There's a brief stifled yawn, and they call out into the dark. River, the light is turned off. Please, if you could. You see someone outside turns around and goes, our river is conducting a search, my lord. Would you like me to help? Moda will go, no, fetch river for me, please, very quickly. I prefer her to do this. As I said before, do not cross the threshold here. Thank you. Only those I trust, of course.
I nudge Barney and grin.
God, we're such boys.
You hear words pass outside and the sounds of footsteps walking away. You think that you are quickly coming up to, like, running out of time for Nookh outside, who could be found at any moment. What are you doing?
I think we're going to ask the same question. Does Nookh know when it's been deactivated?
I mean, the way he talked might imply that he does, given that he's implied some causality between this object and the kind of this thin, like, glass-like shell around this place.
Has it been deactivated?
You don't know. He said to like, bust the thing up, essentially break it.
Does it look like it's been deactivated?
Well, Harry, you're in darkness, so you can't see, and it's held by Barnelect, so you also don't know where it is.
Does it feel like it's been deactivated in my hand? Can I feel an aura coming off it?
No, it feels like a cold, heavy lump of metal with a lot of edges and points to it. It's a bit uncomfortable to hold. I'm going to say its size is it's slightly larger than a fist.
Shall I just lob it?
You love it.
No. Shall I just lob it?
I'm giving you both an action each here. You've got to tell me what you're doing, otherwise you just freeze up and don't do anything in the moment.
Does it look like you can take it apart? Did it look like you could take it apart any further?
Does it feel like I could take it apart any further?
You could try. You could grab it with both hands and try to wring it apart if you want.
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me I will let you do either just pure strength or sleight of hand.
Pure strength or
whichever's higher. Whichever you feel is better for you. If
strength's just +2, so sleight of hand, so it doesn't make a difference. So here we go. 18.
18. Okay. You get both your hands around this thing and begin to kind of like grasp and twist at it. At first there is no give, and then suddenly something kind of goes. You think maybe one of the triangles that forms this thing kind of just pops in. and then it's a very bizarre sensation. You feel it kind of almost unfold in your hand. You remember, there's like old, like those math tests where they show you like shapes put together and you have to say what shape they make as a 3D object. You feel it like unrolls like that and becomes this flat connection of triangles. You hear very faintly in the dark something kind of fall out. You think something kind of rolled outside of this thing when you unrolled it and fell into the dirt at your feet.
Oh no!
But holding this thing, you do feel this gentle... You hadn't really noticed it, but you feel this gentle prickle at the back of your neck fade as you unroll this thing. Only its absence is now kind of is when you notice it. Now I've got to roll. Okay. Nookh just got a natural 20 on his stealth check, so he hasn't been caught.
Yes, he's in.
And he's not noticed by Moda as he slips into this place. Who may still be awake, to be clear. You two are hiding in the dark.
I know.
I guess you wouldn't even know that Nookh himself has slipped in here. So
No.
you kind of roll this. You hear this faint tink noise. I guess Jurab hears it as well. Jurab, you have no idea if this thing has been broken or not. You have a vague idea that Barnlect is near you. Does Jurab do?
Can we see? Have our eyes started to adjust yet, or?
You can give me perception checks.
Okay. Here we go, buddy.
Giving in mind that, like, currently, so far in my head, you two have just kind of like jumped to the side where the shadows are strongest and crouched down or something. So, if everyone's eyes adjust, it may be that you're perfectly visible, unless you take more proactive means to hide.
Great.
Like...
Great stuff. Because I've got my perception is a sweet old 10.
Okay.
I got a tasty 14.
Okay, I think both of you can tell.
tasty.
You can kind of just, you get that sense that you are standing effectively next to each other. But other than that, you can't really see.
Brilliant.
There's a bit of light spooling in at the entrance to this place, but other than that, things here are largely obscured.
Just stunning insight from Jurab. I am standing next to the camel. Fucking hell.
That's degrading.
My
man.
point is, you can have a little bit of a conversation if you whisper.
Camel
Although
boy.
Moda may still be awake. You don't know.
I just nudge him as if to go like, with the intent of, I think I've done it.
Right. Do I understand that he said that from that nudge?
Give me an
that's
insight.
down to you.
Give me an insight check.
Would it be okay to hold the
meaning.
I got a natural 20 on my insight.
Okay.
He from that nudge, he receives a perfectly worded essay entitled, I believe I...
This is not so much a collision of gentle elbow to side, but the gentle connection of two spirits. And for a moment, you are as one and know each other's thoughts, just through that subtle nudge.
You're right. It was a romantic scene.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, you're free to kiss in the dark if you want to. Hold on. However,
Just the camel boy.
You hear Nookh's voice whisper in the dark, Barnlect, Jurab, given that he didn't do very well on his perception check. What is that? Who's there?
Oh no!
There is a moment as the voice is escalating in volume that I will give you all an action to react, if you wish. You have a vague idea of where Moda is in this darkness. You can hear that Nookh has whispered, having done bad in perception, unsure if you're even in here, to ask where you are, assuming that she was asleep.
Did she roll? Did she roll to hear that or not?
Yeah, she rolled a perception check to hear.
Was that with Unfortunate Son as well?
I don't believe you applied it to her.
I thought
you?
I did. I said
Oh.
in the darkness when in the darkness. I believe I did.
Okay,
Did anybody
we'll
else
say you
remember
did
me say
then. I
that
may have
or not?
forgotten. My apologies if that's the case.
Thanks, Harry.
Even so, she still
Shit.
gets a 15, which I think we'll hear a whisper said next to her bed, essentially.
I concede.
Okay, I'm
Can
giving you
I attempt to whisper back?
You can whisper something in the dark.
Voices. We're the voices in your head.
No, not to Moda. You idiot. To communicate where we are.
I'm saying that Moda has heard someone whispering next to her and is going into a panic. You have effectively a surprise round, because she's only just woken up, to do something in a room where someone may be about to scream.
Shit. Oh, we fucked it. And do we kill her? Do we kill her?
You could just like cover someone's mouth.
There's another person though.
They're asleep, as far as you're aware.
You
can I ask-
could you loudly be like on your gun? Nobody move.
Okay, I'm gonna go
No.
towards.
You can loudly cock your gun if you want. Okay, Harry, I want to be clear. This is a little absurd. She heard someone whispering in a language he understands, and you can try to play it off as a cat, but this better be the best goddamn cat performance of your life. What's your animal handling, can I ask?
+0.
Okay, it is physically impossible for you to do a cat well enough for someone to think, oh, that was a fucked up cat. Meow.
Oh no, my animal handling is +2. Sorry.
It's still impossible. I just want to
so.
be sit up front. Jurab
Okay, fine. Then the cat idea. I was just saying, have a bit of fun. All right. I want to do the little cat game again.
The cats are gonna quickly become like the OP get out of anything move. If every time someone cocks up, you just blame it on a cat.
All right. I just go. Fuck it. I go out to Moda. Lishan, be quiet. It's me, your old friend Jurab.
Cover her mouth, please.
No, I'm not going to cover her mouth because then she definitely will scream.
Well, yeah, but with her mouth covered.
Yeah,
Okay,
But then
Playing the
then
friend
would
card
muffle.
might be better than being like, shut up.
It's true.
Right?
Okay.
Can't cover to your mouth.
Give me the persuasion check of your life, Harry.
Fuck me. Can anyone give me advantage?
And also, Barnlegs, what are you doing in the darkness here?
I was gonna run up to her and grab her by the mouth.
It was a 16.
Okay.
I'm gonna run up to her and grab her by the mouth.
Give me a grapple check on disadvantage. No, yeah,
grapple?
you're in darkness, disadvantage.
Grab each of her lips and be like,
That was
Where?
definitely a worse idea. I'm sure the persuasion check would be a better idea than just like wrestle her to the ground.
At the expense of sounding like an ultimate noob, what is a grapple check?
Oh, sorry. You want to make you want to make an athletics check, and because you're in darkness, you're going to make it on disadvantage because you're not quite sure where her mouth is.
Sweet one. Where athletics. I can't find it. I'm so sorry. There it is. +3. Okay. Roll 2 of them.
Can I ask, is my eating of noodles really bad? Can you hear it? Okay.
Oh. So I got a natural 20 and an 18.
Oh, very nice.
But it's on disadvantage,
Yeah, so you choose the
and
18.
my athletics is +3, so it's a 21.
Okay, well, she didn't do very well on her acrobatics. She only got a 10. So
I
will
grab
say
her
continue-
individually by each lip, as Grace said. No, I don't really.
Your hand clamps over her mouth, and you kind of bump against Zurab in the dark, who says, "It's Zurab." Zurab, your eyes are adjusting a bit. You can tell that Barnlect has leant over and put one of his hairy hands over her mouth. She's going to roll. And you got a 15 on your persuasion, right?
16.
16. Okay. The hand goes over the
Was
mouth.
that
You say
unfortunate
these.
son then as well?
Sorry.
Was that unfortunate son as well?
Oh, actually, it might be even. Okay, yeah. She kind of goes and like calms down. What does Zurab say? She's got a hand over her mouth still.
You better talk now.
I don't know. We were never given instructions beyond just get into the tent. Like I'm just gonna like continue to try and calm her down. Like, Lishan, everything is going to be okay. Nothing to worry about. But
Okay.
very, very quietly.
And sorry, I just got to roll something here. Okay. You hear Nookh's voice next to you, Zurab, saying, "Both of you cover your eyes." Do you do so?
Yes.
Okay. Even with your eyes covered, you can still see there is suddenly a massive flickering burst of light going through this place. Just, this constant bright strobing permeating between your fingers. I'm just going to quickly roll for the person sleeping with Moda. You hear someone else go, almost as if they kind of went to wake up and go, what? And then just kind of went slack. It only happens for a moment and then stops. And you kind of gingerly look out. You see that this lattice of silver triangles has been kind of fully kind of torn open, almost like someone put a fist into it. And this this kind of metallic pseudo skin kind of hangs almost limply like shedding lizard scales over Nookh's forearm. And you can see inside it's just this hollow chrome armature. And you can kind of see where it becomes the wrist. It becomes this full mechanical thing. Which implies that Nookh's hand, at least from the elbow onwards, is entirely machine. Although you can see this illusion over it, this magic that makes it look like normal skin is kind of like now increasingly flickering and just kind of turning off for periods, at least from the elbow onwards. Moda and the person beside her both lay in bed, just kind of slumped, slack, eyes, pupils fully dilated, just these massive black holes in their eyes, and they just kind of lie there stupefied. And you can see kind of a slow line of drool rolls from Moda's mouth, and Nookh is kneeling next to her and whispering something in her strange, slightly pointed ear. He whispers, he looks back to you, "Watch the door, they might have seen the flashing." Whispers a few more things, and basically just puts a hand on Moda, who appears to be, if catatonic, still awake, and just closes her eyes with his fingers. And you see just clicks his fingers in front of this other person, closes their eyes too. He looks to you and goes,
"Are we moving up to kidnapping now?"
"We should go quickly." And did you leave any trace in this room?
I mean, I told her my name. Does that count as a trace?
She will not remember this.
Fantastic. Let's go. I was going to take some of the valuables around, but
Can Gerard give me an
I
intelligence check?
restrained. A what check?
An intelligence check.
16.
Excuse me. You think Nookh says, "Did you leave any trace?" And you go, "No, wait, hold on." And then you run back, taking down the light, and then extinguishing it, and rending it open. And you kind of think...
That wasn't me. That was the camel. I didn't leave any trace in this room.
Okay, but you think it may count as a trace, is my point.
Oh, I also point to the massive cut open of I sliced open the tent.
And also, and I heard a little bit of the ISA thingamajiggy fall out into the room.
Okay, I'm going to roll for Nookh here. You spent quite a while here. He's going to look to you and go, "Fuck. Find that quick." And where did you find it? A silhouette turns to darken the doorway to this marquee.
Oh, God.
How am I going to rule this? Okay. Can everyone give me an initiative check that might give you a chance to get out of this? That's
I'd say, don't say everyone.
Jurab, Barnlect, and Nookh.
I'll roll initiative. Don't you worry.
Shit. Okay.
Oh, no. 9.
9. What did Zurab get?
I'm just looking for my thing. It's +3, I think.
Just be your dexterity
21.
modifier.
21.
21. Okay. And okay. Sorry. 1 second. Okay. Zurab, you see the silhouette of River, the famous warrior bodyguard of Moda, darken the doorway here. You can't tell her by sight, just by silhouette. You see her 3 irregular stubby horns that rise from her bow, and you can kind of see the light catching the back of her long black hair and slightly illuminating her kind of pinkish crimson skin. And you can also see the silhouette of the tail between her 2 knotted and gnarled legs. You are the first to act. Perhaps you only saw River fight once or twice, but you know immediately this is a threat. And your body moves more on instinct than anything else. What do you do? It's still dark
do I
in
think
here.
there's...
You don't know necessarily if this person has seen you yet.
Yeah, can I stealth out of this? Can I hide behind the bed? Or anywhere that might be able to let me get to the hole in the wall?
So there's not much about behind the bed you can hide behind, but you could go under the bed or behind some of the furnishings in this room, the drawers and so on.
Yeah, I'll hide behind the biggest furnishing I can find.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
For God's sake, I keep rolling out the floor. Don't think this one's going to go well, boys. That's an 8.
Okay, you quickly just pivot on your heel and try to slink behind one of these drawers, but you bump it slightly and something on it rattles. Okay. All right, I've got to roll some dice now. Sam, what's Barnalect's armor class? Sam?
15.
15. Okay. It's the wrong dice. 15. Okay. Okay. You take 36 points of bludgeoning damage. What's Barnlect on?
Is that lethal?
I don't believe it's lethal.
Pardon?
Barnlect takes 36 points of bludgeoning damage. What's your what? Do you have any hit points remaining?
I have 3.
Can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Holy shit. Yeah, okay. My constitution is... Bum bum. I'm going to use my initiative to roll... Not initiative, inspiration to roll again.
What is it roll again? Oh, your Constitution save, sure.
Yeah.
36 points of damage.
Yeah.
That is not nice.
Actually, crit twice.
Constitution
I
is
can't take that.
23.
Okay. You feel like stones being dropped on your body. This person moves like a flicker, and suddenly these heavy blows collide into you. These legs rise up, and you feel just this foot lash around, crunch you in the side, followed by a knee to the other side, and then just 2 like Ip Man blows to your chest. And you kind of immediately, from the force applied to your stomach, just cough blood as it's kind of almost pushed up you. You feel a kind of a pointed finger drive into your side and twist, but it doesn't. You feel kind of a strange stiffening shock run through you, but it doesn't quite catch the nerve, and you stagger back, still able to move, but you feel almost that kind of almost cause your body to seize up or something if you hadn't quite been lucky there. This person goes to shout. Thankfully, Nookh is the next in the initiative order and just barely chasing her, and will quickly cast silence on the room here. He plays this thing. Yeah, I think that's going to be his action, and he is just kind of going to move up and get caught behind the back of the tent here. Barney, it's your turn. What are you doing? You've just been hit with these incredibly heavy blows.
Who's in there?
This person who darkened the doorway for a moment just kind of moved forward with a speed so quickly you didn't even realize she was next to you, and then just before you realize it, you've been hit 4 times and very hard.
Oh my god! Can we dash towards the exit?
You can try to run at the front. You might be seen. There is a guard out there.
Jeez, I'm gonna die. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to attack her.
Sure. You're in complete silence, by the way, currently, but she may try to leave and shout for more. So.
Or can I dash back towards the Can I dash back towards the tear in the?
Yeah, you can try to dive out the tear that was made in the side of the tent if you wish. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, that might see you
Isn't
tearing.
surrender an option?
Sorry.
It might spare your life. Surrender might be an option.
But then we'll get
silent
kidnapped.
now. Might make it a bit hard to surrender. But Barnelect, you can try to dive through this thing. Are you just running out, tearing? I mean, people might see you if you run out of this thing.
Oh god. Yeah, we'll fight her.
Okay, how are you fighting her? Are you trying to grab her?
Well, I think I'll hit her with my sword because
Sure.
if she can deal 36 worth of damage on me, I think it's probably best to yeah.
All right, go.
All right, I'm going. All right,
2 attack
and
rolls.
that is 21.
And you've got your 2 attacks. You can roll them both at the same time.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. 21 and 8.
8. 8 doesn't hit. The 21
Yeah.
does.
Okay, and then we are 1d10. 9.
Actually, I should be clear. Inside the area, it's not like sound is completely dispersed. Like there's like everything is incredibly muffled. It's like you're hearing
Okay.
everything inside of the area, like through a few walls. So there's a little bit of sound here.
11.
11 damage. Okay, not to be sniffed at.
Can I move away from her?
She'll get an attack of opportunity on you.
Then no.
Okay,
I will not be moving away from
kind
her. 'cause
of knocked back. You reel from these blows, but you kind of coming back with the momentum. You swing your sword. She kind of deftly moves out of the way of the other one. I mean, like it's a kind of these very minimalist movements, but they completely avoid your blows. The next one you thrust forward. She almost dodges it, even on a 21. You're close. You just managed to kind of nick her across the chest and cut into her and do that 11 damage. That's Barnelect. It's now Zurab's turn again. Zurab, I rolled intelligence for you. You see this person moves like lightning and strikes at Barnelect, and you see the kind of the font of blood from his mouth fly across the room, and hear it kind of hit the dirt before the room turns quiet with Nookh's spell. You suddenly start remembering these stories of the cultic Zot, this strange mystical martial art practiced by the Galoa Rivers people, and the kind of what you assume to be fantastical, kind of terrible tales about what it could do to a human body. You know, kind of stuff like you could make someone's heart explode by hitting pressure points in their chest. That may still be mythical, who knows? But regardless, it's your turn.
Oh, good. Am I hidden?
You're not hidden. She knows you're there. You can try to hide again.
Jesus Christ. All right. I'm just gonna. Am I within 5 feet of her?
You can move to be. I'll say you're 10 feet of her right now.
No, it's good that I'm not, because then I don't get disadvantage. I'm going to shoot her 2 times with... I should probably not hide, because then if I hide, the only person she can kill is the camel.
Nookh's also here as well.
How close? Are they both
Essentially,
right
Barnlect is right between her and Nookh, given that Nookh was next to Moda, whispering into her last, and Barnlect had reached over to put his hand over Moda's mouth last.
I'm going to take 2 shots with the big gun and 1 with the little gun, using extra attack on the first one and action surge on the second one, and then I'm going to try and hide. Is that possible, or am I trying to use bonus actions twice?
Okay, so what you could do here is just given
Oh, I can do 4 attacks, I think. Actually,
yeah, you can do 4 attacks with action surge. What you could try to do here is attack with the your dagger first, hide, and then attack again. You can essentially go.
Doesn't the hide's an action though, isn't it?
Well, you can bonus action hide with your little derringer.
I'm definitely going to try and do that.
I double crit on Sam when she came first in initiative, so I want to try to give you a fighting chance here.
I'm going to do that. That one's great. Okay, so our first 2 attacks with the derringer.
So, to be clear, you want to attack with the derringer first, bonus action hide, attack with the revolver as the second attack, and then you can action surge and attack 2 more times.
Right, so derringer attack, revolver. That's how I'm doing it. Okay, what am I going first? Derringer, that's 2d4. No, it's just a +6. So what's it called? Oh dear. That's a 5 plus. That's an 11
to hit.
Tragically,
the shot goes wide. A hole opens in the marquee.
Can I still hide on the back of that?
Yes,
though?
you can.
Right?
You can.
It makes smoke.
Creates
Okay.
a plume of smoke, and you're in darkness. So I'll give you advantage on this stealth check.
That's a 13, 6, 19 on the stealth check.
19. Okay. You think you're hidden. You can make your first revolver attack on advantage now, and you are attacking from stealth here. You just by 1 point beat her perception.
Okay, so I'm going to use a focus point on assassin's shot.
Sure.
While making you, I don't know how this works. You get like an extra additional dice equal to the weapon's damage dice, and add that to the damage.
Yeah, so it's an automatic crit essentially, or it does the same damage as a crit.
Okay. $18 to hit on that first one.
That does not hit.
Oh my fucking god! What is the AC on this person?
I think you still have inspiration.
Okay, so that's the focus point.
Dead, right? You're just
Wait,
dead.
I think we're dead. Sorry, I don't get. Given that I'm attacking from what's it called, do I get on advantage when I attack from stealth?
Yeah, this first attack from stealth is on advantage.
Oh, try that again then, shall I? That was lower, so I definitely don't hit on that one. Okay. I still got 2 shots left. These, I assume, are not on advantage.
No.
Both of those miss.
Oh god! So all 4 attacks miss.
I rolled a 2 twice.
Jesus Christ! I'm so sorry. Okay, you fire.
So I just blast out the fucking side of the tent.
Burst out of the smoke and fire 3 times, and all your shots go wide as this person is just kind of moving so quickly you cannot get a proper bead on them, and they're moving in front of Barnlect, and you don't want to shoot your friend, maybe compatriot, and just 3 more holes appear in the side of this tent. Zurab, that's you. It's now River's turn. And I say, as the sound reduces, it's like kind of this distant thunder. Your gun in this place. She is now going to attack. She's going to attack Barney. What's Barney's AC again? You're right,
15.
15. She misses on the first attack. Lucky boy. Doesn't hit on the second though. and she does 10 more bludgeoning damage. I think that takes Barney down. So you thrust forward with your sword, but your neck is overextended, and she just kind of neatly sidesteps, and with the turn cracks you in the jaw neatly, and you just kind of fall. You feel something maybe break there, and you just kind of slump to the ground. Everything suddenly goes black. She's then going to... who would she attack here? She would attack...
R.I.P. Camel Boy.
Oh, wait, hold on. You may have just saved Nookh by taking... Hold on. Oh my god, a miracle might have just happened. Okay.
Barney rises.
Okay.
Barney rises?
Not quite, tragically. So, she kind of knocks down Barnlect and just kind of spinning forward comes up to attack Nookh. Nookh makes a kind of desperate gesture with his hand, and suddenly there's these blue hexagons materialize in the air, which her spinning leg just kind of cracks against. But then she kind of builds up the momentum and comes again, and her leg just shatters through this thing and kind of hits Nookh in the chest, who kind of bounces off of the cloth behind him. Takes a solid hit, but isn't down. And it's his turn now. So, this seems fairly desperate, actually. Actually, he's got to make a check. He manages to maintain concentration on his silence spell. And...
Oh, good.
Barnlect regains 6 hit points. Nookh kind of gets knocked to the side and just kind of clear desperation, less regard for himself, reaches down. Zurab, you catch the glint of some kind of brassy metal as he swings something and seems to slam his fist into the back of Barnlect's thigh. Barnlect, your body kind of shudders suddenly, and you're kind of suddenly come back to life, and there's a pulse of vim, of vigor coming through you suddenly. And you feel your jaw kind of...
Like an EpiPen.
Your jaw broken, just kind of snaps back into shape suddenly. Incredibly painful, but you feel just alive all of a sudden. And this effect may not be ending, at least at the very moment. That's Nookh. He's going to get an attack opportunity if he moves. So, Barnlect, it's your turn. Currently have 7 hit points.
What do we do, man?
We
Surrender
die.
is always an option. You can just be like, don't kill me.
Oh, man.
Give over the guns.
Give her the guns?
Well, then at least she doesn't have a self-defense reason to kill you.
Just gonna execute us if we do
It's
that.
possible to help Zurab hit her, by the way. You can give him the help action.
Yeah.
If you think
Good.
that's
Yeah.
what you want to do. Or you can do 2 attacks against her. Have you applied Fortunate Son to yourself? It might be a good time for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I've got one more thing that I could do after that. So I'm going to apply Fortunate Son to me. And yeah, why not? I'm going to attack.
Sure. You're lying on the ground currently, but she's basically above you. You can just do 2 swipes with your sword.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Give me 2 attack rolls then.
Okay.
Oh, I wish I had 10 speeds to play right here.
2 attack rolls with the 2d4s. Is that?
Yeah, you're adding a d4 to each of these rolls.
Yeah. Great. Okay. And that is... Sorry, it's taking a while to load. An unnatural 20 and a 22.
Both hit. Very nice.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. And then that is... Do I add Fortunate Son to the attacks as well?
No. Look,
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Then
You
it's
can see now.
8 and 7 plus 2 and 2. 10, 9, 19 damage.
19. Very good. You've done... okay. She's caught quite unawares by being... by you being stabbed in the leg and coming back and just swiping her from the ground. And you managed to get 2 hefty blows, these cuts, into her. but you are still lying on the ground, so she will get advantage on attacks against you, unless you want to get up. You can get up and not get... you haven't moved yet, so you can pick yourself up and not get attacks opportunity, I believe. Okay, cool. I didn't hear what you said, but I believe you said I'll pick myself up. So you quickly kind of roll back and jump up next to her. That's you. It's Jurab's turn.
Jurab, for the love of God.
Is she holding like a weapon, or is she just doing this stuff with
No,
fists?
she is just... It's her feet, her tail, and her fists.
Fantastic. So one of my useful abilities as I'm about to use is not going to be helpful. Does she look like she's carrying anything that's important to her doing the fighting?
She's got daggers on her person, but she hasn't used any yet. They may just...
God, no. Okay, never mind. I'm just having a little think. A little think. No, I'm just going to attack twice again.
Sure.
While walking a little bit closer, but not close enough to get disadvantage.
Okay.
Towards her, just on the off chance that she might attack me
Mechanically, it won't
instead.
make any difference, but sure. So I want to be clear, you can do something sneaky here, which is attack with the Derringer, stealth, and then immediately come out stealth attacking.
Can I do that again?
Yeah,
I thought I could only use the bonus action hide once.
Does it say you have to wait until a long rest to use it again?
No.
No, then yeah, you can do it
When
again.
you attack, no. Okay, I'm doing that.
Sure.
So
You already rolled, didn't you?
I did roll for those two, but then I rolled 2 dice. So which one do I use for my? I mean, okay.
I will neglect the rolls because I want to help you here because you are fighting someone who's fairly optimized for beating you up or beating anyone.
All right.
And it may not stand a chance if you don't use your mechanic.
Okay, so the Derringer attack is 24.
That hits.
And that's one. Wait, Derringer is
2d4, I
2d4
believe.
plus 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage.
Okay.
I try and stealth, so stealth roll. I get a 22.
You're stealthed.
Attack with the revolver.
So this is on advantage now.
Sorry?
This is on advantage now because you're attacking from stealth.
That's good because it would have been a natural 1 if it hadn't been on advantage. So that's what's 18 plus 6, a 24
That
on
hits.
the revolver. That is 2d8 plus 3.
I'm
which one the
stressed.
d8 is. 1, 2, 3. That's the d8. 7, 3, 10, 13.
13.
Yes.
Okay, so what
I'm
happens?
going to sweat to death if this goes on for much longer.
You fire these shots. She's moving around like a blur, but you manage to, as she's caught surprised by Barnlect kind of slashing at her from below and rolling up, you move to the side, fire your Derringer. It clips her, kind of surprised by the attack, and then you disappear in a puff of smoke, and then she kind of readies herself, and you kind of dive out the side, and just with this neat shot, kind of one hand bring the hammer down, and the other hand bring the gun forward. You fire a revolver, catch her in the jaw. She spins, blood and teeth fly, and she falls to the ground, either unconscious or dead.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Fuck off! No bullshit.
Yeah, you managed to get it to 51. Her hit points are 50. She's just a person who's good at fighting.
She took off the entirety of Barney's health in one hit.
And she got a very
Yeah,
good
You're all
preliminary thing.
mortals, right?
Sorry. I will point out that
Amen.
your Derringer is now spent, and you only have 2 bullets left in your revolver.
I know. I've got my little. I can't show it on camera, but my little
No.
MS Paint document.
I was gonna say what?
Sorry.
What can't you show on camera?
Well, hold on. Actually,
No,
this happens.
no, Liam.
Don't worry about it.
Don't bring
It's fine.
me.
She's unconscious. She's not doing anything.
Okay, I thought you were about to say like, oh, I did the maths wrong. I was
Okay.
only half.
Do I say to I quickly turn to Nookh and like, have you got what you wanted here?
Wait, no, you say this and you go like,
Oh yeah, of
there's
course.
as the silence ends
Just
here.
would have the whole party to help with that fight.
No, it was meant to be like 2, maybe 3 people take her on.
I would have appreciated the full party being there,
Me too.
but I would have very much appreciated.
Okay. So you say what is it you were going to say to Nookh?
Have you got what you wanted here? Jules a bit like this. Ooh.
Is she? Oh, I'll say it gets back to your turn. You regain now 8 hit points.
Woo!
Well, like,
That's very kind.
Feel your wounds knitting back together. Things inside click back into the correct place.
Okay.
Although you can feel the effect ebbing now.
Right.
Nookh goes, is she dead? We can't leave a mark. And yeah, I'd say at this point he's probably adjusted enough to see the brazier. And what about the brazier on the floor?
Oh God. Okay, we can. Could I put the brazier just back up?
Sure. It's got a big hole in the side where it was kind of torn open.
Shit. Yeah, I'll try and I'll just pop it up.
Cool. Sure. You put it up there. Nookh kind of looks again at River and goes, "Is she dead?" Looking to Zurab, more of a kind of professional in this field, or more knowledgeable in this field.
Is she dead?
Give me a medicine check.
I failed a medicine check, unless the medicine check had a DC of 4.
It didn't, tragically. No, you reach over. What's Zurab's AC?
No. 15.
15. Okay. Oh, she just hits. Zurab takes 8 points of bludgeoning damage. As
8?
She, yes. You dealt a fairly hefty blow to her, but she has been faking being unconscious, you think, as you reach down to touch her pulse, and this she basically whips up and in one go of getting up, kicks you hard in the chest, and you stagger back. We're back into initiative. It's her turn. She played dead for some reason. You're not sure. But actually, I'll say she rises, and now that Zurab, you see the light cast on her, she looks at you, and her eyes recognize you. She might just say a few things in the moment of, Zurab, I knew you had no respect for our master and will try to fucking kill you. 2 misses, tragically, but 1 hit. Zurab, you take 7 more points of bludgeoning damage as she comes forward, and you're like, duck into the side, and one of these catches you in the chest. It's now to Nookh's turn. What is he going to do? He hasn't got a huge amount of things he can do right here. Yeah, okay. No, that's really dumb. Okay. Okay, you see that Nookh's hand crackles with electricity, and where it does, it kind of almost melts away the illusory skin on his chrome hand, and swipes it towards River, but she kind of deftly ducks out the way of this crackling energy as it just swipes above her head. Barnlex, it's your turn. At the start of your turn, you regain your final, and I keep rolling 1s on this and 3s, but you regain 6 more hit points.
Okay.
You feel this effect ebb from you.
Does she look weak?
Yeah, she looks badly hurt. Like a part of her jaw has gone. She caught a bullet basically in the mouth. But this person has a certain tenacity to her that allows her to fight through the pain.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'll attack her.
Give me 2 attack rolls.
I will. Oh, sorry, wrong ones.
I was hoping you'd talk about more so she could hear the plan between Nookh and Zurab. Oh well.
What So I got a 21
Hits.
and a 6.
Doesn't hit. 21 hits.
Yes. Okay. Clear. D10. That is 10.
Okay, 10 damage. Okay, you slash across her back. Ugh, she grunts in pain. She's on her last legs, you can see. I mean, just in terms of what a body can take. That's you. Zurab, it is your turn.
Is it still silent?
No,
Nope.
There's no silence.
Gun's going to be really loud, isn't it? I am just going to make a regular melee attack with my dagger.
You can
in
make
that
two.
case. Sorry?
You can make 2 attacks with your dagger.
Yeah, I'll go for 2
Sure.
with that. And if possible, non-lethal if it takes her down.
Sure thing.
If
You
possible.
can just say that. Yeah.
Right, that misses. That was a 17. The second one was a 24, though.
Are you throwing or are you stabbing with your dagger?
Stabbing. She's right next to me.
Yeah, sure. All right.
It's only 5 damage.
5. She is on literally 1 hit point here, but it is her turn. It's fairly obvious at this point she's got to finish this now. You see for a moment.
Wait, sorry. I'm going to take a bonus action to regain hit points first.
Oh yeah, you might want to do that.
It's 1d10 plus 5. That was a 7 plus 5. What's that? 12.
Sure.
Right, thanks.
Okay. You see for a moment, she gathers herself and almost kind of forms some strange pose with her fingers and kind of tenses for a moment. And then you see a kind of a red flush comes over her already crimson body. And for a moment, her sweat becomes so hot that steam begins to rise from her form. Just for a moment. And she moves even faster than before. She's essentially making a reckless attack here, which allows her to do advantage on her attacks, and everyone gets advantage on her. Okay. I'm just going to do all of these. Yeah. Dear. Oh dear. Let's just see where that takes him to. Sorry, I'm just doing maths here. Okay. And what's Barnlect and Jarab's hit points?
Both of us?
Yeah, just checking, seeing where you are.
Mine is 20.
And Jarab's
41.
21.
41.
41. Okay. Right. Okay. All right. She tenses, and for a moment, it's like her eyes kind of are like like in a sped up video. Like they just kind of look to all of you for a moment and seem to kind of drink in the situation, and then you see in kind of one single clean, deft blow, with her kind of fingers curled in, strikes at Nookh's throat, and you see it goes out of place, and blood kind of just froths at the mouth. And she kind of standing over, kind of exhausted, looks at you, spits a blood and a tooth at the ground, and goes, "My life for Rayforte," and kind of weakly raises her arms as a kind of like a "what are you waiting for" pose to Zurab. And she looks at you with a kind of a searing contempt. Both of you have advantage on attacks for her for this round. She has 1 hit point. It seems statistically very unlikely that none of you would get a hit. I will let you decide what it is you do here. Nookh is not dead immediately when he hits the ground. He's there kind of convulsing and choking.
Oh my god. Uh,
Can we shove her, like, just grab her and be like, fix him?
I mean, she's making a kind of like a, what are you waiting for? Kill me kind of gesture. So you don't know if she's particularly inclined. You think that she basically, like, in a second, analysed who here was the most vulnerable, and the one closest to their losing or reaching 0 hit points was Nookh. And then she just did enough damage to do what may or may not be lethal. She may have been a few points over or a few points out.
can I? Oh no.
So you two can tell me what it is you do to River here. If anything, you can just leave her if you wish. Might not be the most prudent course of action.
I don't think that's the best idea. I think we should kill her.
I think we should knock her out. I like the idea of denying her the hero death thing.
Dude.
Hey, it's not killing her. It's definitely better. How's that worse than murder?
I mean, I think.
Can I?
All right,
Is
you
it my
two
turn
cannot
next?
have.
I don't know.
Are you two having this
Do
conversation
you
in
want
front of her?
witnesses?
No, I just want to pistol whip her until she like goes unconscious.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
All right,
You
I'm
just-
going to go to Nookh then.
You flick your gun over and
Romance
crack
there.
against
The
her,
answer.
and she just slumps into the ground, heavy. Some blood begins to pool there. Barnlect, you go over to Nookh. He's kind of juddering and convulsing, and a hand reaches out and grabs onto your arm, and he's just like, can you give me an insight check, please?
Yes, I can, and I will. Sorry, the sister. Can you roll it for me quickly?
I'll roll for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. What's your insight modifier?
It's a good question. Insight is +4.
Insight is +4. Okay, you get a 15. There is an almost creepy calmness to Nookh. He doesn't seem surprised or concerned over his own death. What burns in his eyes and his vice-like grip is, "Do not leave me here." And his hand is holding your arm, enough to make it like white knuckle. That's what his eyes convey to you, but he can't talk. He's currently, but looking over him, you can see his throat is out of place. He's, it's filling with blood. He can't breathe. He's going to die fairly summarily.
Okay. Is there anything that I can do?
He's doing something for himself here.
Okay.
And
I'll let him do that because he seems to know.
cool. He's going to pull something from his sash. A small, in a trembling hand, kind of held up to you as he convulses. This small, kind of glass vial with this scarlet, kind of viscous fluid inside of it, and a small syringe extending from a brass cap at one end. He kind of, shaking, puts this into your hand and kind of tries to wrench it over towards River, lying on the ground, unconscious. And
So I get the feeling that he wants me to.
You get the sense that he's trying to get you to inject this. He doesn't have the strength himself. He's trying to inject this into River. And she does have heavy wounds on her person, so.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it for him.
Okay, you stab this into her. Her body shudders like yours did. And you see that some of her wounds begin to kind of, the blood in them almost like bubbles, like boiling, and the wounds begin to stitch themselves back together slowly. He is going to deliberately kill himself with his last remaining death save that he's doing to stop himself from dying, as he produces something and kind of as a shuddering River has her eyes flick open, even though she is unconscious here, just from the kind of the spasms. He presses some object in his hand, and it begins to flash incredibly bright throughout this room. Can Zurab and Barlek both make wisdom saving throws? No, sorry.
He's gonna
Intelligence
possess
saving
her, isn't
throws.
he?
As he presses this thing, he has pulled out a wire from it and basically just kind of butted against his arm, and this dark energy rolls across his body, and as it kind of reaches his heart and his head, he just falls fully dead.
He's going for like a full neural upload into someone else's brain, right?
Who knows?
That's what I'm calling.
So what do you, Sam, your mic is muted. Harry, what did you get for your intelligence saving throw?
Natural 1.
Okay, brilliant. I really like that.
Good. I got 16.
16. Okay. Cool. Harry, or I should say Zurab, you've been travelling for 5 days towards Rayforte. It's been a bit of a tedious journey. There was this horrible incident with these bandits coming in the night, but you're a competent warrior. You fended them off, and on the 5th day, where you're told you're going to be reaching Rayforte tomorrow, you fall asleep expecting this kind of rather arduous journey to be, kind of tedious and over. And you go to sleep, and you wake up the next day standing, covered in blood, in a room. Rivita Chai, your one-time companion, lies dead or unconscious on the ground, and Barlek, who's travelled with you a bit, is kind of staring at you, confused, as your eyes kind of blearily swim, and you wipe them, and as you gather, you see a fully dead Nookh lying there next to Barlek. You have woken up in the middle of some horrible melee.
What in the shit did you do, you idiot camel?
How loud does Zurab say this?
A normal volume.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit elevated.
Shut up!
Do you not think
I will transition to a whisper on like the second word if he says shut up.
Okay.
is Europe not like I must be dreaming?
I don't know, it doesn't feel like a dream.
It feels pretty real.
It feels pretty real.
As you're coming to your senses, as you're waking up, the pain begins to catch you. You feel definitely a rib is out of place somewhere.
Not a dream.
This feels like a pretty horrendous dream. Could be a dream, though. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Barlek, you think you are running out of time here. You've got a dead Nookh.
Okay.
You've got a River whose body is healing. And I will say, with the way her face is slumped, you can see where Zurab's revolver blasted off a chunk of her face. The teeth are beginning. It's a horrible sight, really, to see these small slivers of ivory kind of coming out and slowly expanding within gums that grow back. It's a fairly... it's a horrifying sight, but you hold your nerve.
Okay, can I tell that... So, this is probably... I probably won't be able to understand, but when he said, don't leave me here, or like gave that impression, do I now know or kind of get what's happening, that he's kind of body snatched?
You don't know if he has body snatched. His arm, his rigor mortis is still holding your arm. So he may mean his corpse.
Don't make too many decisions based on my guesses, because I don't know shit.
Yeah, I will say, by the way, Karelia has returned. Lox is there. You can see she's got a bit of blood. She appears to have been beaten up. She goes, had to take a few knocks to make sure Bartlex could get through. Ailey, I think, is doing a kind of a presentation. Things are petering out. We might see if everything kicks off. Shanna, does Karelia say anything to Lox? Just to have a brief moment of intermission.
You know what, man? I'm carry on.
Okay. What is Barlek and Zurab doing? Zurab, you've woken up into some horrible place. Sam, your microphone is muted.
No, I was doing.
sorry.
I was doing mime acting.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
That's
He's that
okay.
good. He's that good, ladies and gentlemen. That's what 3 years at Lambda will get you. What are you doing? You have a moment to decide. You think time is running out?
I pick up the corpse of Nookh, and I indicate for Jurab to pick up the corpse of his once companion, River.
I do it, yeah. I'm in a weird dream.
She's really heavy. Nookh is of a slight frame, even though one of his arms is like made of metal. Give me a strength check to try to pick up River. She's short in stature, but she is just a dense ball of muscle.
Well, I got a natural 20.
Okay, yeah, sure. You roll her over, fireman's lift, carrying her. And also on a natural 20, it won't impede your stealth at all to carry her around. What's Bartlett's strength score is 14, I think, so I would say you won't be impeded by carrying Nookh, because I say he's very slight in frame.
Okay.
I will say as well, where you've seen his throat get striked, there is the same flickering illusion that was over his arm happening there as well. Although where it's been put out of joint, it is the same dark skin. But you can see it is more sinuous and sagged and older looking. Where this profusion of his out of joint throat, and you can clearly see that the illusion over is one of youth, and this throat is old, or older at least.
Ooh. Okay, let's go.
Okay, can both of you give me
out the slit? I
out
think
the tear. It's going to be a little hard to get through. Can both of you give me stealth checks as you try to sneak out of this thing?
Oh, fuck it. Nat 20.
Very nice. What did Harry get?
Unnatural 19.
Okay.
Ooh.
You're both doing pretty good. For the sake of expediency, I'm going to say you slip out of this thing and begin to make your way out of this place. Harry, as I say, carrying River. What's your strength score?
It's 10.
10. I'm going to need you to keep making strength checks to carry River.
I got a natural 20.
Yeah, and I allowed you to do stealth on no disadvantage from carrying her, but you are carrying her for like 30 minutes to get out of this thing, which is a lot for someone.
Okay, I just got a 10.
Okay. You think it's going to seriously impede your ability to sneak around carrying this person? You are kind of carried on adrenaline and a certain amount of kind of disconnect, just because you're not sure what the fuck is going on. You're starting to flag as you kind of begin to slip between these tents, and you're almost buckling onto one knee carrying this person who is incredibly heavy. You can still keep doing it if you want, but it will be at a penalty.
Can I put the heavy one down? It's very heavy.
Do you want to swap?
Yes, why not?
Swapping bodies is going to take time. And also,
Oh.
how long does rigor mortis last? I'm asking for a friend. Nookh, even in death, is still gripping your arm like a vice on a strength check of 20.
Okay. All right. I'll just go. No, we got to keep going. We got to keep going.
Harry, you think Jurab knows that this is kind of like, I have to either be one of the luckiest people alive or leave this body behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna dump the body.
Okay.
Oh,
Slump
I
over
don't care.
in the alleyway. You see, having carried her for the last 5 minutes, the last of the wounds you left on her have knitted away. She appears to be in as good a health as she was when you saw her a week ago. Now, it's as if
I don't think there was a body swap. I think he did that to
Same.
make everything seem like it was before.
Well, to be clear, Jurab, you have no idea what the fuck's going on. So...
Yeah, sorry, that's Harry speaking.
No, I know.
Jurab thinks that it's a weird dream. I dump her. I run.
Cool. Can you both give me stealth checks, please, for the next
Again!
place? You get this one advantage, though, because Ailey is drawing many of the crowd here with the endings of her illusory performance.
I'm relevant.
Unnatural 20.
Sorry, I know you haven't had a huge amount to do here. I'll try to give you 2 more stuff next session.
Can I use my last fortunate son?
Yeah, I mean, you can use it as many times as you like. It's your burning luck points, so you can use up your last luck points to use it. Sure.
But yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Harry, what did Jirab get for his
Oh,
advantage
man.
stealth check? 20.
That's a 20.
Brilliant.
Not natural, but a 20.
A dirty 20. And Sam, what did Barnlect get?
24.
24. Yeah, fueled by adrenaline. It's almost easier for you, Jirab, going out, just because your sudden amnesia divorces you from the circumstance, and you can just focus at the task. Barnlect, you know the way through because you took a similar route, and you find that there's a strange absence of kind of people around, although you can hear voices in the night. There's some kind of entertainment going around here that seems to be drawing many of them away.
Let's check it out.
I will say that you... yeah, just give me the last stealth check. This is fairly easy because you're now going through encampments of soldiers who are mostly asleep. Last stealth check. This isn't on advantage, though.
12 plus 6.
Okay.
18.
And what does Barnlect get? You won't have Fortunate Son anymore because a minute's gone by.
The minute's gone.
Yeah.
Did you say?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, then it's 14.
14. You both still make it out. You only needed a 10 for this last bit. You slip out of this place into the night. You kind of orient yourselves, looking at the stars, looking at the lights of the camp, and begin to make your way back to your domicile at Rayforte. We're going to cut back to Ailey now. I think Ailey's come to the end of this. People have petered out. They've definitely enjoyed it. You've given a very good show and had a very rigorous theological sparring match with Sage Inifredo. At the end of it, he makes you an offer. You must come with me to Thype. You must see the Grand Temple of the Sun and the lens of Zenel, the font of Hudalba. Thype entertains many delegations of the outer faiths. You would be well welcome there.
But Magister, I have your message to carry.
You can come and prepare a greater delegation in Thype.
I have a duty to my superiors, and I cannot disobey my master's orders.
He kind of mulls it for a
I
moment.
would be honoured to carry a letter from you as an introduction that might lead me towards the capital should I come my own way there.
Sure. Okay. He kind of takes his time with it, but a scroll upon parchment. This material fairly unknown to you. You would think for him to give you some kind of badge, like a gereg or something to indicate office, but instead it is written word upon this kind of curling white substance. You're not quite sure what it is. Maybe the bark of a tree or something.
Should I not have suggested a letter then?
No, a letter's acceptable. It's just that you would understand a letter to be like often something made in clay, or
Right.
and you're not. It's not like you're speaking English here, so letter can be synonymous with some kind of symbol or something, a method of communication. But you were given a scroll in this flowing script of Thype. I don't think Ailey would know how to read Thype or Thippian, but you think people at Dwer Inish will. There's enough kind of knowledge there. He finishes writing it. He kind of takes his time with his words. It's a little tedious. You think maybe this is kind of part of a slight kind of show of dominance that he gets to keep you here while you wait for his letter. But eventually he does hand it to you, held in a wax seal that you see holds the 7-feather plume, and importantly a crest with beams coming out of it that you suspect symbolizes the sun. This is an indication of religious office within Thype. Please hand this to your superior clergyman at Dwer Inish. I hope that we can enjoy a delegation from you at some point in the future.
You honour me. perhaps in my own travels, I might come to Thype.
I would enjoy that very much. You have shown me a great thing to do.
So Ailey smiles and she says, "It's not easy for a traveller alone to travel and cross the borders of Great Thype. A letter of introduction bearing your recommendation would help me find you again."
Well, if you can wait for another letter to be written, then
I would be pleased for the excuse to remain a moment longer.
You flatter me. I will do as you ask. And indeed writes you another letter and seals it with wax. So, and the same seal. So you would have to break that to read this, you think. Unless you can devise some other means. But he hands that to you as well.
Excellent. I shall add 2 letters to my inventory.
I put them. You can put them as like you can note like letter for Dwyer Inish, and letter, to Thype
of introduction.
Yeah. You know what's. Assumably, eventually you excuse yourself. A couple of people on watch are convinced to escort you to the edges of their campgrounds. And you return to your abode at Rayforte. You come in. First, you see Corellia and Lox sitting there. Lox appears to have been beaten up fairly heavily. A lot of bruises across her form. Bit of blood kind of smeared where it's been wiped in the mouth. Shannon, would you say Corellia is maybe, tending to her, given her abilities? Maybe they're sharing a bit of tea. And you come in and you see the hunched and battered forms of Barnlect and Zurab, who look around, and as they do, what they are covering is open to you. The corpse of your employer, Nookh, stone dead upon.
I needed him.
Hello.
That's your first reaction?
Yeah.
Who, me or Grace?
No, Ailey.
Okay.
What did you do?
Well, I nearly died, and then I came back to life, and then Nookh died and told me to inject someone else, but then Jurab doesn't really seem to know what's going on.
Jurab, can you give me a wisdom?
No, it's all right. I know. No, sorry.
Can Jurab give me a wisdom saving throw?
Hey, that's not too bad.
Natural one.
Hey, it's a 24.
Okay,
That's very good.
Kind of the adrenaline of the day is still carrying you. You're still kind of focused on the task at hand, but somewhere scratching at the back of your mind is some kind of instinct. You keep just like thinking back to the body of River, and you just really want to fucking carry that body. It's weird, it's alien, it's nonsense, pushes it away from the focus of your mind. But even if it's just a subconscious part of you, it feels it knocking somewhere.
Left not it behind.
I didn't wait.
Okay.
I didn't hear the last part of that.
Sorry.
Because your audio went a bit fucked.
Oh, sorry. Okay. What I was saying is that you have somewhere at the back of your head, and it is so absurd that it is kind of being pushed away from any thought, but you have the instinct to carry the body of River.
I'm fucking livid.
I'm just gonna.
Fuck.
Leishan, I think I forgot something.
So I would say on a 24, you
Ailey
absolutely
just
are free
points
to
silently
ignore it.
to the body.
Everyone, wait here. I'll be back. And then I just
You're back
walk.
at Rayforte.
Zurab,
He's going to get the body.
Zurab,
He has.
get the fuck back here.
Yeah, Shirab just says, he just tries to excuse himself and leave while Ailey is at the door.
I have no
Zurab,
memory of
where are you
what happened. I think I
Zurab.
might be in a dream, and I have a strong.
No, I want to be completely clear. On a 24 on wisdom, it has no power over you currently. It's like you've got it's like you're slightly hungry or something, but you've got things to do, so you don't go eat yet. It's like that.
Zurab, where are you going?
I think I should go back and pick up that corpse.
That's
Or-
what I thought. You
not
should
all
have
the
done.
corpse
I think
with
it
you.
was a,
Not all at once.
You brought the corpse with you. He's dead.
no, the other. No, she was all right. I think. I'm still a little confused. I was asleep, and then there was, I think, a gunshot, and then Riva was dead, and then Nookh was dead, but then Riva was alive again. I'm still very confused, but I'm pretty sure we need to go and get Riva.
Did Nookh tell you to?
No, Nookh said to bring him here, and we did that.
Oh no, you missed that. You just woke up and Nookh was dead.
I didn't get that. I don't know.
Nookh gave me the feeling, because his throat was gave me the feeling that I should bring him back, but then also stabbed this woman with the magic juice. So
The juice
what's
that
happened to his
healed
voice?
you?
Can I ask, how long has Barnlect been here with Nookh's body, do you think?
What in total?
Like, yeah, well, like, you got back, you escaped with Zurab, you came back here, you explained what had happened to Corellia and Lox. Lox is just kind of, clearly just
It's
kind
probably been about 10-15 minutes, hasn't it?
Okay, over the past 10-15 minutes, the transition has been so slow you haven't really noticed it, but looking back, there is now a kind of, it's almost like you're slightly seeing double with Nookh. There is a layer over him that is slowly fading away, so slowly you don't notice the change, but it's revealing something underneath, and it's still blurred currently, but do you think maybe someone slightly different, or there's some oddness to what's under this facade? Can't quite place it yet.
Guys, something seems to be going on with Nookh over here. I think. Okay.
So Ailey's face is instead of being the sort of the still repose it normally is, it's like a stone. It's iron hard. And she says, if he had a plan for something we've left behind, we can get it. But first, let's see this corpse. And she goes and she does the sacred territory to examine it with runes for magic and runes for the body.
Okay.
And what does it help me find?
Assuming no one else stops her, and you're all just kind of slightly in panic mode here, so there's not much conversation between all of you. You see, again, this illusory area expands, forming this sphere made of these twinkling kind of triangle edges, and within these mandalas bloom across Nookh's form. And you see what you didn't see before, Ailey, which is around this arm, where there is this large rent now in this kind of triangular, this second skin of triangles. Many mandalas bloom across that thing as well. The medical information you get is fairly hard to deny. This person is dead. No signs of life from them. But give me a medicine check.
For that?
Give me a medicine check first.
A medicine check.
What about healing hands? Can healing hands do any
Please?
do any healing?
The medicine I
Corellia
rolled
can try to
a
heal it if she
16.
wants. 16. Okay.
Oh, do I have advantage because of the runes?
I believe you do. Yes. Shannon, is Corellia doing anything?
18.
18. Okay. And can you give me an Arcana check as well? Also an advantage.
Oh, fuck. That's a crit.
A crit. Okay. You look across this form. Your rod jangles gently as it is laid across your kind of meditative seating pose. and these glyphs and this symbology appears across Nookh's form. Two things in particular stand out to you. Something of the one of these mandalas blooms, and you can kind of just about glean some information in the patterns here. You see something that coats the form here is fading away. Its source of power is depleting. You see some bar slowly emptying, and an outline drawn across the form slowly kind of flickers and fades away within this mandala. At the same time, analysing the health, you see that while this you're recognising the body as dead, there's a lot of engagement with this seeming corpse, with the health analysis of your sacred territory. Almost as if it doesn't regard this person as being dead as any particular significance when it comes to fully analysing and diagnosing them. And you see there is an interlocking between the glyphs of that regard health and the mandala at the centre of the chest, where the heart is. Shannon, what is Carillia doing?
Those healing hands.
No, I think if she sees that Ailey has got the medicine check covered, there's not much she can do for a dead body.
Okay, can you give me a...
Can I tell her what I've learned and ask if she can use her insight into energies that I don't understand to...
Well, for the sake of expediency and drama, can I have
more of this heart thing?
Can I first have Carillia make a... can you make just a check using your spellcasting ability modifier?
Mm-hmm.
And add your proficiency bonus
Do
to it too,
my
actually.
runes benefit other people?
This is aside from that.
Okay.
It takes about 10 minutes for the sacred territory to be established. As you see this kind of something that coats the body is depleting. Having analysed these things, you can now see this illusory covering has now faded enough that there is less Nookh here to look at and more Ilek. And it is now you fully realise the extent to which these two people look seemingly identical. As the face of Nookh, cold and dead, has faded away, it is as if instead it has merely aged 20 years. You see now that where there was this chrome arm and this triangular skin has been rent away, there is this entire chrome aperture that comes up to the shoulder and has encased in its top the small arm and hand that Ilek had on his right side.
They are clones.
Carillia, what did you roll, Shannon?
16.
16. You're kind of just, I would say, sitting there, perhaps slightly worried. You thought things went well, and you come back, and everything seems to have gone to shit. Lox is beaten up. Zurab seems kind of weird. He keeps kind of like adjusting his shoulders as if he's carrying something on them, but he's not. Barnlecht is kind of, panicked and looking around, his camel-like head swinging around. Ailey has this kind of sudden steeliness. Your heart is just kind of been pounding in your ears for the last 30 minutes. And then you hear it is joined by a separate beat, another, and it almost reminds you of that great kind of coalescing of life you saw when you were struck down on the road. And you hear it again, and you feel something moving beneath the ground, some invisible leviathan that slowly creeps up just a millimetre under your feet and to under the body of Nookh or Ilek, you're not sure at this point, and something begins to flow into him. Does Carillia do anything with this knowledge?
I think I get down next to him and I try to pull the energy up into him.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, just give
Yes.
me give me a check with your spell again, your proficiency and spellcasting ability modifier.
Proficiency and spellcasting.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I'm going to use my inspiration because that was a 2. That was a natural 1. That was a natural 1. So,
Okay.
7.
7. You touch this person and feel something truly alien. You've had contact with other life forms before. I mean, you had it in the womb. You felt yourself as an extension and a part of your mother. You have been in contact with it all of your life. Your existence is moving amongst this massive network of virality itself. And you touch this person, you feel this truly alien sensation. Where there would be a discrete amount of life, at the center of Nookh's body is a bottomless hole. And from it, life force rises from nowhere and everywhere and is pumping into his body. And you feel this this pulse begin to rise. In the literal sense of it, it is pushed into his form, and it soon becomes not a singular thud, but a and as it reaches a healthy tempo, suddenly the body of Nookh, or Ilek, you're not sure, judders and begins to kind of spasm, suddenly return to life on the floor. And we're going to end there. Given that it's 5 to 10, I think that was a pretty good session. I had a lot of fun. Sorry it was a bit focused on Zurab and Barnlect. Shannon, I'll make sure Gorilla has more stuff to do in the future. I think everyone got a little bit of chance to do something though.
And Ailey.
We were really important though.
And Ailey. Well, yeah, I mean, Ailey got to do her like sacred stuff, and I had a lot of fun. I hope everyone else did too. Those who are still watching, thank you for sticking around. Should we say goodbye, everyone?
Goodbye,
I'll
everyone.
Get my mouse to work.
Goodbye.
Keep saying goodbye.
Thank you.
Keep saying it. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.